in a world where the truth is stranger than fiction, and two friends have just enough beer money to question it all, comes a podcast like no other. From the shadows of conspiracy theories to the bright lights of OnlyFans. No topic is too weird, too wild, or too inappropriate. Trust me on that one. They'll ask the questions no one else dares. This is the Liquor Out Pod.
Right, so did you watch the fight? What was the fight?
Yeah, fighting the loosest. I mean, it was actually looking all right. The little bits I did see, just highlights, and it was looking all right as a fight. It was looking like it was shaping up to be something decent we all were expecting. And then obviously the eye poke from hell that, derailed the whole thing.
It was an accidental eye poke, though. Brad disagrees.
I don't think it was. His fingers are like that, and they go. It doesn't stop there. It stops there, and then it pushes in. I don't think
it's slow motion. If you watch it in real time, like if you watch football, the fouls look 100 times worse when it's slow mo. When it's real, it's just something in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it was deliberate.
Yeah.
I don't think it was deliberate, but
I do think he milked it a bit.
Aspinall.
Yeah, just a bit. I know, like it.
Okay, so I've obviously fought some MMA and bare knuckle as well, and I have had some horrific injuries to my eye, and also of my 3 kids, 2 of them have hospitalised me with eye pokes as babies. Yeah, so my left eye has had some hammer, and I can tell you it varies. So my last BKB fight, I don't think it was an eye poke. I think it was a knuckle or the tape off the knuckle that went across my eye and sliced it open, the eyeball.
Yeah.
But it hurt. It was troubling me, but I could get through it. But I've had, other ones that have occurred during training where the worst one was my now eldest Jackson. When he was like 2, he stuck his finger right in my eye, big slice across my cornea. When you wince, you don't wince with one eye, you wince with both. Yeah. And it was so light sensitive. It was honestly one of the most painful, excruciating things I've been through my entire life, right? And I've had a lot of hammer and a lot of injuries,
Yeah, you can't train your eye to take damage, can you?
No, it's like, street fights, it's my A game, you know what I mean? So, I don't think Aspinall was milking it at all. I just think that was...
But do you think if it was the other way around, if Cyril was the champion and this was Aspinall's shot, he'd have fought through it to get the belt? When you've got the belt?
No.
And that's your only shot at it?
No, I'm not being funny. It's like anyone that's questioning this has never had a good freaking poke in the eye. Has never had a good finger in the eye.
Chael Sonnen came out today and he said he probably should have fought through it. He's like, there's been plenty who fought with one eye, one toe, like in a championship fight.
Which actually brings me back to my point. And that was, I didn't quite finish making it. So
sorry.
When no. It was, we're going to digress, So in my last BKB one, it only affected the one eye. I managed to still be able to see clearly out of my right eye. When my son did the same thing to the left eye, sliced me up. Oh my God, I couldn't open either eye. I went to the hospital, I got the antibiotic drops in, you get 20 minutes of relief. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then it kicked back in, and I literally spent a day and a half in a blacked out room nailing codeine like Smarties because I was in agony. And it's just a very subjective thing. Sometimes it's possible to fight. But I fought on and I won with like that shot. And in years ago in a point karate match, again I won. I think it was one of the times I won one of the amateur English title versions, and I think it was the EMAs. They're defunct now, and it was a point fighting match, and I won their English championship this particular day. But I ran onto a roundhouse kick, and the toe went into my eye socket as I ran forward, and it also rammed the eyeball right back into my head, and then you get all the bleeding. And I actually lost.
Surprised you can still see all these eye injuries.
Do you know what? Amazingly, I've still got 20/20 vision in my left eye as well. I've had everything checked recently because I've had some hammer. I do have to try and keep on top of it.
Yeah.
I've not had a brain scan. I imagine my brain looks like fucking Swiss cheese.
So I think like casuals would watch, you know, like Bloodsport with Van Damme. He gets
course.
in his eye,
Do I
and then
know
he's
it?
like, he can fight on and he can still win. So you get people like that because he got booed straight after.
To be fair, Van Damme was a ninja, though. He was an actual ninja. So, I mean, you know, he could just use the foot.
Yeah, where were we? So, you know, like casuals would think Van Damme could fight with no eye, so you'd expect that. I think a lot of the fans there are casuals anyway, which is why he got booed. Yeah. I don't think the doctor helped because the doctor said there was nothing wrong.
He looked help either.
That was after, but during the fight when the doctor came and looked, he said he couldn't see anything that would stop the fight. So it was
right.
all on Tom to say.
Again, let me come back to that. It's like, so when I've had my eyes done, so I was one of my MMA fights. I only had like 5 MMA fights, and one of them I lost because I was dominating, but I got taken down and I took an elbow directly to my eyeball. And I mean, the point of his elbow went into my eyeball. My head was on the floor. It was pretty rough. Now, it wasn't the pain or the concussion or anything like that. What it was, there was like a crack. I had like a crack and I literally went blind in that eye.
Yeah.
And like completely blind.
How long did you go blind for?
Only about 30, 40 seconds.
Right, yeah.
I will be honest with you. It's one of the only times I panicked.
Yes.
And I just said, whoa, stop. Because like as much as I wanted the win, it's like it's a sport. It's a sport fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I kind of wanted my eyesight as well. Because I'll be honest with you, the thought of going blind terrifies me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. Today I care so much less about things I probably carried on. But like at the time I was like, no, fuck that. I was like,
I think if more's on the line though, like if it was a street fight, you wouldn't have to.
Oh no. Hey, no, well you can't. No, you can't. You can't. That's a completely different game.
But like if you're a hungry young fighter and this is your one shot at the title, at millions of dollars.
Different game again.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
that's why
that was sort of
Aspinall's position as he's already the champion.
He's already the champ, yeah.
So he doesn't need to. He wasn't doing as well as he usually does. Like he blooded his nose. Whether it was from tiredness or because he couldn't breathe through his nose, his mouth was open. He was getting hit more than he's been hit in any other UFC fight that I've seen. Is it like this isn't going that well?
Here's a way out.
Here's a quick way out. Even if
I honestly don't think so.
No.
I don't think, well, you were saying before, I don't think you can judge the fight off the 2 minutes of fight that was there. I know you said like...
Well, John Jones in 2 minutes with the same.
I know, you get for John Jones, mate. Like,
no. If there's a hype train...
He probably saw that eye poke and thought, yeah, I'm back.
Well, didn't he?
I'll be on that.
He shared a
John
joke
Jones
with a bandage over its side, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
John Jones one of the great.
John
Jones absolutely one of the greatest of all time. I've been an absolute bad man, but like he's terrible for eye pokes. I don't think he can be throwing shade at anyone for eye pokes. For fuck's sake, you know, it's like. I don't know.
Are you fully on board the Aspinall hype train? As he,
yeah, he's exceptional.
I don't think he'd do well with John.
I beg to differ. I think he beat him.
No,
I'm so glad you're on my side with this.
Are you talking like peak John or John now or
John now?
Yeah,
peak John.
Because Aspinall off John Jones's name has become like this boogeyman. Like he's the hardest fight ever. He's the greatest ever. And he's not really fought anyone.
Right, peak John.
Yeah, peak John. No one lives with.
I don't think so.
Like,
I honestly think
no one from any era.
Exactly. I just think that peak John is the greatest of all time ever.
Yeah,
I do think John now versus Aspinall, it's Aspinall.
Yeah,
I really do. But I mean, I'm not funny. That's not Tom's fucking fault. He's only like young guy. You know what I mean? It's like that's the time he got there. And to be honest, I thought John Jones not fighting him was not a great move. I mean, he's protecting his record. He's doing the Floyd Mayweather thing, and he's protecting his record.
I don't even think it's that.
What do you think?
It's the respect Aspinall didn't show him. John Jones is in his head, and to most people, he's the greatest fighter of all time. I think the way Aspinall... Cool.
Yeah. Just inhaling my JD, sorry.
It's inhaling the Aspinall hype, like. But I think the way he came to him, he turned up at one of his shows and he put his hand on him and...
He does that to everyone, though.
Yeah, but this is John Jones. This isn't like Pavlovich or Volkov. This is John Jones, the greatest fighter in his sport. John Jones expects a bit of respect. And I think the way he came up to him, and he was using his name to build himself. Without John Jones, there's not half the Aspinall hype. the way Alex Pereira's done it, he's been very reverent to him. He said he's the greatest. You know, I'd love to share a ring with you. I think if Aspinall had gone down that route where I'd just love to share a ring with you, I'd like to test my skills against the best in the world. And I think John Jones took offense to it because to John Jones, he is a nobody. He's fought no one. He has more to gain than John Jones. John Jones wins. He's just another up-and-comer. John Jones had them all his life, like the next big thing, and he's taken them out. So that's all Aspinall is to him. To Aspinall, if he fights John Jones and he beats John Jones, the only person to ever do it, really, it makes his career. Without John Jones, there's no one at heavyweight. He has no other real like career-defining fight. He needed John Jones, and if he'd have gone to him with, look, just to be mentioned in the name, even if he doesn't believe it, just do it to get the fight. And I think that's what's happened with John Jones. I don't think John Jones is scared of anyone.
I can't argue with that. Actually.
Yeah. I like Aspinall. People think I don't like Aspinall because I've had this argument with him before. He's like, oh, John Jones is ducking. John Jones is an elite fighter, an elite mentality where... He still is. Look what he did to Garn.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes.
Garn's not an elite fighter. That's
he bloodied up Aspinall's nose. He was doing well in the 2 or 3 minutes of the fight. He's elite. He took Francis. Did he do 5 rounds with Francis?
I think so.
Yeah. So he in the heavyweight division, which isn't great, he is probably the top one. I mean, who's Tom fought as well? It was Tom and Pavlovich who were the big hype, big hitters, and they only got that fight because John was injured to fight Stipe, where he got the interim belt. He's never fought a champion. He didn't win the belt from a champion. I think the hype got so much where he's wasted 2 years of his life with the John Jones hype. Everything to do with Aspinall was John Jones is ducking you, John Jones is ducking you. He's had 2 years out where he could have fought someone else in between. And just like, I'm just going to carry on fighting. If John wants to fight, I'm there. And years out make you rusty.
You got to think, though, for that 2 years, there was a will-they-won't-they with John and Aspinall.
So move on. Like, if the guy doesn't want to fight, but just say,
John
I'm
had
there
agreed,
when
though, hadn't he? John had agreed that, what was it, 30 mil or something stupid that they offered him to fight Aspinall. He agreed to it. It was all in thingy, and then he was like, no.
But nothing was signed. So all he has to say is, I want to fight in May. If John doesn't want to fight in May, give me someone else. Let me have a tune-up fight. Don't go that long. I think the problem with a lot of these fighters, especially when they win a championship, they don't want to fight for like once a year. And the inactivity is really bad for them. You've got like Merab who'll fight 4 times in a year, and he looks good because he's constantly fighting. When Tyson first came out, I think he fought 8 times in a year.
Yeah.
And that's good for you. There's only so much sparring can do. And like, you're out that long, you're going to look rusty. Even John Jones looked rusty when he came back.
Yeah, you can't help that ring rust. I mean, it's like, if you've had that long out, you need...
And as a younger fighter, Aspinall should have said, like, okay, if John Jones isn't going to happen, I'm going to fight this one. And if I win this, I'll just keep winning. I'll do my job.
I mean, to be fair, right, if you look at, like, your champions of yesteryear, like Chuck Liddell, one of the greatest of all time. I trained with Chuck. He's amazing. And he fought literally everyone. And even when he didn't have to fight, he turned up and fought. I mean, I remember when he fought Babalu, and he was primed for the winner of the, I think it was the Ken Shamrock Tito Ortiz match. Yeah, he was on that card. He fought Babalu on that card. He didn't have to fight.
Yeah.
And Babalu was really dangerous back in the day. And Chuck went out there and like put on a masterclass and got a highlight reel KO. And that was, and I'm all for that mentality, and I massively respect that mentality. There is a bit too much gamesmanship in it.
Yeah, definitely.
There's still not as much as in boxing.
No, not at all. That's the problem with boxing.
That is the massive problem with boxing.
Like,
politics.
They can avoid people for
gamesmanship and politics, and
And that was what was good with UFC. The best would fight the best.
All
and
the
you
time.
were told to fight that person. I think John had reached a level of being the greatest where he deserved the respect of other fighters. Like, you should... He brought the game to the masses, really. Like, even before McGregor, it was John Jones who you'd know. Like, McGregor superseded him fame-wise outside of the UFC, but never skill-wise. Never, never even near. Like, if you talk greatest, Conor is only greatest in what he did for the sport rather than as an elite fighter.
Conor was
I
just a
think.
great.
Look, he is.
He's iconic.
Yeah,
Conor
yeah,
more.
yeah.
He's an elite fighter, but there are elite fighters and there are elite fighters. You
Yeah.
gotta look at the actual skill set.
I mean, everyone in the UFC has reached an elite, but there's the elite of the elite where you've got Jones, probably Anderson Silva. I think Pereira's up there.
Pereira, yeah.
Mighty Mouse, like. I think Khabib, some people don't, but he didn't take any damage in his fights. He got.
I don't think you can argue Khabib. I don't think you could argue Khabib's in
Yeah, but some people you see online, there's like, no, he didn't fight enough. He quit after he did three defenses, but he came out, and he did everything he said he would do. I don't even think he lost a round really in the whole time he was there. So I'd always have him on my top 4, top 5, and I think some people who reach that point, even Conor deserves the respect. If Conor's fight is going to make you have to be a bit nice to him. You can't be like this dickhead and like, I'm doing more for you than you're doing for me.
The fight game, yeah, that's how you hype fights up. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, like, I hate that, but it does work.
Yeah.
It's like in the pro wrestling business, they call it like cheap heat.
Yeah.
Where you go after, and I'll be honest, the Conor Khabib thing got way out of hand.
It did.
And
It took it too far.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was like personal, wasn't it? It wasn't actually.
I don't think it was personal to Conor at the start. He just doesn't have a limit of where you stop, and some people take offense to it. And I think Khabib took offense, and
I can't blame him. I mean, some of the shit he did was like
You
next
say your
level.
wife looked like a goat or something. Like your wife looked like.
So I didn't need to laugh, like, took me by surprise with that. I do not agree with that comment. I do not. Oh, Jesus Christ! But no, I mean, I think most people would be kind of a little bit.
But I think that was Conor's game plan in general. That
It didn't work though, did it?
It worked.
Just
so
pissed him
far.
off.
Like in Brazil when he like, why doesn't the guy's name always
Jose
slip
Aldo.
my- Jose Aldo? He got in his head. Aldo was probably a better fighter at the time. And he
Aldo's
just-
superb.
Prime
And
Aldo was gonna
he
stop.
got in his head to the point where Aldo's game plan went out the window, and he just saw him and saw red, and he got caught.
Oh no,
That made Conor's career.
that's an absolute masterpiece. That.
But that was all psychological. I think if that whole beforehand hadn't happened, the fight wouldn't have gone down that way. Aldo wouldn't have steamed in and just got taken out with one punch. And I think he tried that with Khabib, and Khabib was just as angry as Aldo, but he was a calm anger where his fight game was still there. And,
More emotionally regulated.
and I think that's what got Conor to where he was, just by annoying people and like getting them off their game plan. Like,
Getting in the head.
I used to play pool, and I was never great, but I could get in people's heads where I just talked a lot of shit, and I'd win games where I could go like 7, 8 games in a row, and no one could beat
Jones
me
was the best.
because I was just talking shit, and I could see the anger in them just on pool, and they were better players than me. And it's like with fighting, same thing. It's all psychological. If you can get in someone's head, it gives you a slight advantage where they're a better fighter, but they can't concentrate as well on the task at hand.
And it sort of links in a little bit with what you were talking about before about the way you're hyping the fights, and even Aspinall's approach to John Jones and what have you. And it's like that was very much about hyping a fight, but that was the cheap heat, you know. If he'd have gone the like you say the route that Potan did, just said it would be an honour to share the ring with you and blah blah blah. To be honest, I think that would have still personally that would have created at least as much interest in the fight still.
John Jones sells out whoever he fights anyway.
Yeah.
Aspinall had a hype train, not as much as since John's booking him and his name's forever linked with John Jones now. It's not Aspinall, it's Aspinall, the guy John Jones ducked. It would have still been a big fight. Whoever John Jones fights is a big fight. He'll sell out pay-per-views, he'll sell out arenas. And he could have taken it that way, like straight.
I mean, same with Conor. I mean, I'm not being rude. He's way past his prime. I mean, I'm sure he'd agree if well, not publicly, like, but if you asked him in a darkened room, I'm sure he'd agree. I mean, I'm sure he knows.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he couldn't fight the elite fighters now. Ilya Topuria would take him out with ease. Like the ones he's looking at, Chandler, maybe a Nate Diaz again.
Not even Chandler fighting and why?
They're supposed to.
I'll be honest with you, though, that still excites me. That fight still excites me because of the names.
It's a
and
fun fight
it's a
because of the
fun
names.
fight, yeah.
But if it was like an up and comer in one of the divisions who was calling out Conor McGregor, you'd be like, I don't need you. Like, why am I risking anything to help your career?
To be fair, Chandler's not like fucking great, is he?
But he's
last 3
he's
fights.
known. They've got like a beef between them for years.
Chandler was absolutely.
He was good, yeah.
He's
He's
a
a brawler.
highlight
He's very good.
fighter.
fighter.
So good. But I mean,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, look, I'm not being funny. They're all on the downward like turn.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, yeah.
And I say this to someone who is like easily 15 years past his best sitting there. You know, I've retired, although to be honest, I might have to come back soon because I'm going clinically insane. But
well, that's the problem with fighters when they quit. They don't know what else to do. Like a lot of them.
it's
That's
been
why,
difficult.
yeah, like Connor did the drugs and alcohol and all that kind of thing, just to find the high of fighting, which he's never found.
Clean living young man, mate. Don't drink, don't smoke, make my own dresses. You know.
Is that why? So when you were fighting, were you doing the stunt work and stuff on as well, or was that after the fight? Was that?
I was wrapping up my fighting career as I started in the stunt work, and for me, that was also great because, okay, go a bit deep with you here. I've struggled my entire life with chronic depression and various, I don't know, disorders of my personality, and there's certain things about me that are difficult, and I have literally always used martial arts. That's been my coping mechanism. That's been my
way out, sort of.
my way out.
Yeah.
I don't want to say safe space because it makes me sound like a fucking millennial.
Is it
But
the
yeah.
training that helps you, or
All
having
of
the
it,
fight
the training, the focus. The best thing is the sparring on the fighting itself, because it's like ultimate meditation, because you got someone in front of you trying to kill you. Your head cannot be anywhere else, and also there's just nothing to contemplate outside. If you're in a ring or a cage or a mats or a set of hay bales, it doesn't matter. You're in that space. You're going for it. Your head can't be anywhere else. I mean, on my worst days, my head was actually, up till I was like in my mid-20s, really, before I started to really crack things and make some headway with it. I was usually fighting two people anytime I was in there.
Yeah.
I was usually beating myself up worse than the guy across the ring could ever. And that's why I would say I lost so many decisions on split decisions by 1 point. I mean, I lost an inordinate amount at a high level because I didn't believe I was good enough. I knew I was. Psychologically, I knew I was.
It's convincing yourself more than anyone.
You can't outperform your subconscious, right? I know that firsthand, and I was just battling with that the whole way. If I could have put my head now on my shoulders 20 years ago, it would have been awesome, right? I still did pretty damn well. And I'm not like being woulda, coulda, shoulda. I was a fucking contender. I fought for world titles professionally. I've been in the ring or the cage with a couple of guys who were in Bellator or the UFC or whatever. So I got to that level.
Yeah.
I just never cracked that elite level.
If you don't believe you're the best, you'll never be the best, which is like John Jones believes he's the best.
So I could let myself believe it on days when there wasn't too much at stake.
Yeah.
So if you put a time, so I never had even an amateur world title. I had 5 British titles because I guess I could let myself have that. I got a world bronze medal. Should have been a silver. I got fucking robbed. The fight's online. Go and have a look at it. I'm not like mouthing. I don't need to. But I fought for a pro world title against Michael Elmsley back in 2004, the WPKA Pro Kickboxing title, and I was winning the fight. And I was points up, and then he knocked me out in the 4th round with a beautiful check hook. Same thing that Mayweather did Ricky Hatton with.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. That's a sad one. Yeah, that was an incredible experience and all the rest of it. And then I fought for a pro British title in 2008 against John Durant, who is exceptional. And he's some kind of Highlander because he's only a year younger than me or something. And he only retired I retired about, I think, when was it? 2022, 23? Only a couple of years ago I actually retired.
Really recently then.
Recently, yeah.
Could you feel a difference in your body? Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So listen.
more recovery though, isn't it? Like,
Look, here's a story for you. I pulled out of, in my entire career, I pulled out of 16 fights. That sounds like shed loads, right?
Yeah.
But if you consider that, including my amateur stuff, I had over 300 fights.
Yeah.
So put that in perspective, right? Now, here's the story. Of those 16 fights, 9 of them were in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't recover anymore.
Yeah.
I could not recover.
Is that like an age thing?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pushing
Not being
50
able
now.
to-
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like your body just.
At some point, your body just doesn't want to do it. It's like with football, I used to play football a lot, and the recovery got worse and worse. And like, if you hadn't played for a while, you could do the match and you'd feel a bit tired and a few muscles pull, but then the next couple of days you'd be dead. And that's just football. That's not getting punched in the face. That's
there's nothing like fighting. Coming back to what I said is, these days I've done a fuck ton of therapy. I've been in therapy on and off for like 15 plus years. I've read a library of self-help books and philosophy and this, that, and the other. And I had kids, and I never planned to have kids, and I never actually wanted to have kids. Not because I don't love kids, I do. I'm just not a fan of the world. But it forced me to stay in the game, and it forced me to find some ways and some philosophies and some ways of looking at things and make things work. And I can, don't get me wrong, still have horrific days to this day, which is why, recently it's been rough. I've had a lot of stuff go on, and it's been a test. And without that safe space of the identity of being a fighter. I train people, and the identity of a coach is amazing, and I love it. And I do love it. Brad, you train with me, awesome, right? But the fighting something just for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes
sometimes you need just one thing as your focus. Like Pereira, he was an alcoholic. He was working in a tire factory, and it was that Izzy interview where he said, "The guy who beat me in kickboxing, no one knows who he is." He said one day he'll be in a bar talking to someone and like, "I beat that guy once," and that was his one focus that got him out of where he was, what he was doing, and look where he is now. And he must have been fighting demons to be.
I think all fighters are fighting demons.
Yeah,
I'm not being funny. I don't think you choose fighting. I think fighting chooses you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that. That's between me and my therapist and the people that know. But let's just say it hasn't all been roses. You know what I mean? Hey, compared to some of my friends, my life has been a fucking rose garden. It's always, but I don't know. Shit's no point arguing about the shade. It hurt me, and I have a lot of damage, and I have a lot of fucking demons that need exercising. Yeah. And honestly, one of the reasons why I did go and spent my entire life on the mats, in the ring, in the cage, wherever, was so I didn't end up on the 6 o'clock news. And I make that as a joke, but it's true. Yeah. It's funny because everyone laughs at that because they know I'm actually, all the best jokes, they're like 90% true, aren't they? You know
what martial arts did you do?
So I started in judo when I was 8, and I can't remember. So forgive me because I was 8, going back.
Not that long.
10 years.
Yeah. So I started with a lady called Karen. I cannot remember her surname. Her and her husband Brian used to teach around the New Mills area, and she was an ex-Commonwealth champion. So my first teacher was a female, which was cool, and she was exceptional. And I had I actually wanted to do it since I was 4. So my earliest memory is I'm sat on the couch, and I must have been 2 or 3, and there was a Disney film on, one of our dinosaurs is missing. Yeah. And during that film, there was a very comedic depiction of martial arts. Yeah. And the second I saw it, this is burned in my memory, this is my earliest memory. The second I saw it, I was like, what is that? And I just loved it.
But I think a lot of kids who grew up in like the 80s will have had all of like the Van Damme films.
Right, kid.
Well, I hit Bruce Lee first. I was on the Bruce Lee films first. Yeah. The first video VHS that we ever got out when we got a video recorder was like a brand new thing, was Karate Kid. Yeah. And I love those films. Okay, the martial arts isn't
but you don't know that, like.
I did, but I still loved it anyway. I still absolutely loved it because the relationship between the teacher and the student and that really comes across. And there's a lot of really great stuff in those films, and I absolutely loved Cobra Kai. So obviously, one of my mates was in that, and I've never been so openly jealous in my life. Yeah. I just said to him, I said, "Oh fuck you, man." I said, honestly.
No, it was really good. Like,
it's great
when it first came out, I didn't expect it would be good.
Oh, super.
You think they're just cashing in on the name. It was on YouTube at first. It was a YouTube original.
I got YouTube Premium just to watch it, and I was so glad I did. It was.
I thought it's just going to be like, like they remake adverts and they'll put the old people in. And I thought it's just going to ruin the.
I think that's what they've done with the new Karate Kid film. I don't think that.
Yeah, it's not
recycled that.
I think it's Johnny Lawrence who makes Cobra Kai. Yeah. Like.
He
wouldn't have expected, but he's an amazing.
I love that character, and I relate far too much to it. It's just a bit. It's a little bit too close to me in real life. But no, he's superb.
I mean, them films ruined me going to martial arts because I went to karate, and it was an old white guy teaching, and I'm thinking, should be a Japanese old man with like secret techniques. And
That's Jackie Chan.
yeah, you go through it and it's like, this isn't like what Danielson's learning. So I quit karate, and then I did ninja. Which
You what?
I
You did what?
Ninjutsu.
You did ninjutsu.
Yeah,
What's
did it.
ninjutsu?
Okay, so I've done martial arts for like 39 years, but I'm curious. Tell me about ninjutsu, man.
At the YMCA in Manchester City Centre.
What did that involve? Come on, tell me.
Well, you got nice black outfits, which
Obviously,
is like really cool.
do you get the tiger boots, like the boots
Yeah.
with the Ninja Turtle type shape foot? That's awesome.
And our master used to go to Japan to learn stuff. And a lot of the teaching was weapons as well. It was like how to use just like a bottle. Things
combatives.
Yeah, things that you'd find in a normal situation.
That's interesting.
There were a lot of roles. He taught us like Japanese words for like how to do a roll. So you'd like dive over people, and it was interesting. But I never felt I was learning.
I've yet to use a roll in a fight.
No, and
Maybe I should aim to. Maybe I should aim to do that. You know what I mean?
we were quite young, so everyone else was older. So he put us with his dad. His dad was a trainer as well, but he was an older man.
Yeah.
And we had to do these dives. So someone would lie down, and you'd dive from their feet over their head and do a roll at the end. And I caught his dad's nose with my knee. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I destroyed this old man's nose? Like, and I didn't go back after.
Sounds very sus, mate.
But
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
got the belt out of it.
What belt?
Don't
did you-
remember.
what
You
belt?
ever used it? Ever used it?
I think it was green belt, and then you got markers on your green belt before you went to like the next one, and then black.
So what was it, like ninja / jujitsu?
It was more fun than the karate lessons. It was like elements of karate, like to teach you to punch. And,
Okay, so I moved from judo to karate.
Yeah.
And the only regret I have in my martial art life is that I gave the judo up.
Yeah.
After 2 years, I was doing them both simultaneously, and I went on the Lancashire squad.
the judo's a good base for MI.
Phenomenal base
Judo.
and street and everything. It's a great base because you're using, people go, oh, you don't wear gis in the street. No, but most people have fucking clothes on, right? So learning to use a gi.
Because
If I'd
judo never interested me because it wasn't kicking and biting, and so it was like that's a bit.
I got into it and I really enjoyed it. And I competed, and I actually competed on the Lancashire squad as like a 9-year-old. And I was fighting like 12, 14-year-old kids and beating them as a 9-year-old. So like, I'm not blowing my own trumpet. Everyone can see my stuff. Type my name in YouTube. Go and have a look. I've done okay. I said 5 amateur British titles in light continuous semi-contact kickboxing, British silver medal in amateur full contact, world bronze medal in amateur full contact, and I was the number 4 ranked WACO Pro cruiserweight kickboxer back in 2009, and that's because I fought numbers 1, 2, and 3, which were Marlon Hunt, who I fought in the fought for the WACO amateur title actually. And I lost on points. Actually, I don't think I did. Sorry, Marlon. Thought that was mine, bro. But yeah, I did. It was very close, but I thought I edged it. They gave it him. It is what it is. Probably comes back to the way I held myself, as I said before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I do think that people pick up on that. I do think the subconscious sells it. And then I fought Michael Elmsley, who was one of only 2 people to knock me out. So I didn't do bad. I only got knocked out twice in...
Completely out. Gone.
Well, I've never even been knocked out.
Me neither, surprisingly.
Ever. They were flash knockouts. They were flash. So when I was fighting Michael, I realised I fucked up. I came charging in, and he stepped off, and I knew the hook was coming, and I was like, "Fuck!" And as I turned into it, and it whiplashed my neck and my spine went 2 different ways. And 1 minute I was looking at him, and the next minute I was aware there was cheering. My vision was like, and I was looking at his knees. Have you ever seen the film Leon with John Reno?
Long time ago, yeah.
Okay, so the end where he gets shot and he's walking along and you see it from his view, he gets shot in the back of the head. 1 minute he's here, the next minute his vision's there. That's what I compare it to. And that was the worst concussion of my life.
Yeah.
Even after nearly dying in a car accident. So I got up and I wanted to fight, and the ref was laughing at me. He goes, "John, no, mate." He goes, "One of your eyes is going that way, one of your eyes is going that way." He said, "You're done, mate, you're done. You're done." And I was like, "No." And he was laughing. He was like, "I love your spirit, but no." And I'm glad, because I'd probably have died. Because for the next 2 weeks, when I walked off, if I even walked off a curb a bit heavy, it was like I've been chinned again.
Yeah.
The pressure in my head was fucking phenomenal. That is the worst concussion I ever had, including the near fatal car accident I had when I was like 21, which actually turned out being the best thing that ever happened to me. It switched my fucking head around and my life around and everything. But even that didn't compare to Michael's left hook. So nice one, Mike, if you're still out there. And then, like I say, I fought John Durant for the Wacko British Pro title. Now, that was the title that Bisping, I believe, vacated when he went into MMA. Yeah. I nearly fought Bisping as well. It never happened. But when I was 18, he was fighting for Alan Clarkin out of the Black Knights in Burnley. And I went and saw a show. A few of my mates fought on the show. And they were talking about putting a guy called Leon Cassidy, friend of mine and training partner at the time, in with him. And then I sort of beat Leon pretty soundly twice on two interclubs. And they were like, we need to put John in with him. But it never happened, unfortunately.
He's similar age to Bisping.
Yeah. And I will say, and again, this is not me being a fucking blackguard or anything like that. I don't do it. At the time, that would have been a competitive fight. Yeah. And then he went on.
Was he well known as being really good?
Yeah, tough.
Do you think he's the greatest British UFC?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Absolutely.
More than Aspinall?
For now, give Aspinall a chance. You know what I mean? But Bisping fought fucking everybody. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, this is me.
And with one eye.
And with one fucking eye, yeah. I mean, wow. I mean, so look, he just fought everyone. He was, exceptional talent. And his game was just like gear after gear after gear. So like, if I'd have fought him at 18, honestly, right, and please look at footage of me from 18, it would have been a competitive fight. I don't know what would have happened. It would have been competitive.
But anything can happen in a fight.
I wouldn't have wanted to fight him at 28, though. I mean, now, I've had a hip replacement. He's had a knee replacement. He's got one eye. My brain is smashed. I mean, it might be okay again now. We might have come back out. But I don't know. Maybe that's a charity thing in the future. Who knows?
He used to fake his eye test, didn't he?
Yeah.
He'd go in and memorize the...
That's hilarious.
And just so he could pass.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I mean, they've got Shara Bullet now with one eye.
Yeah.
He can't get sanctioned in America or anywhere else. Fights all the Abu Dhabi cards.
Yeah.
But he's a good fighter. I like his fights. They're exciting.
He's a good fighter.
Again, he might never...
Mike Page demolished it.
Yeah.
So again, I know so I saw Michael Page fight Sean Lomas, who was like me and Sean have had like war after war after war. So Sean got some like expose thing done on him about like the worst ever MMA fighter or something because he's most losses in history. But it's like, you've also got to look at Sean and look at, he also has numerous wins over top 10 people. And trust me, he is a tough human being.
And he fought MVP.
He fought MVP in kickboxing at the Palace Hotel up the road in Buxton.
Yeah.
I saw that a few years ago, and then because I've come up on the same circuit to all these people.
He's got a very unique style, MVP.
Yeah, so that's a points fighting background. He was an exceptional points fighter, but he makes it work in full contact. The other guy that does that is Raymond Daniels, whom I have trained with and met and chatted with. So yeah, and obviously Stephen Thompson from the UFC. So I like those guys because my base is karate, and they do a lot of the stuff that I do. You know, they do a bit better than me. Well, they do it a lot better than me now. I mean, since I've had the hip replacement, I'm trying to get my kicks going again. But hey,
you're getting there.
I'm getting back up to head height again. I will get back to my happy place of kicking people in the head again. That's my motivation, and to try and get back into the stunts and things, because I was on a roll with that and then got completely derailed. But
so we wanted to talk about your stunt work.
Yeah, man.
So obviously, I know you outside of. I think you've been on doing stunt films for Fast and Furious. You're in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
you're on
Fast 10, only for about 3 seconds twice.
Yeah.
I did 3. That was such a fun shoot, though, the Fast and Furious 10.
Yeah.
So that was like the last. It wasn't the last big thing. I did the little bit on the responder and things. And I did some music video and things. So I did Dungeons and excuse me. Start that again. I did Dungeons and Dragons. I did a few months over that in Northern Ireland, and then at Titanic Studios where they did Game of Thrones and stuff, and various locations, and then came back over to the UK and did some stuff over here. And then I started on Citadel, the TV show with Richard Madden.
Yeah.
They completely rewrote that. I don't know if you're aware of it. they did a test with the original show, and apparently it wasn't favourable at all, and they basically completely rewrote the show. So after filming on that for months and months and months, and I had featured parts on it as well. I actually did a Stairfall with Richard Madden, but the whole, original plot, script, plan got trashed, so none of it ever came out. I don't even have a previs of the damn Stairfall. Oh, can't even put it on the show.
When I first started training with you, you were about to do that.
Yeah, I think I was on that when I spoke to you. And I was basically bouncing between Citadel and Dungeons and Dragons, and I got to know the stunt coordinators on Citadel, which was Pete White and Nikki Powell, as she was then, Berwick as she is now. Now here's the thing, right? So Nikki Berwick, this is me getting hit in the head too many times. So Nikki, I actually knew from back in the day on the martial arts circuit, and I was looking at her and thinking, you look familiar, but I couldn't place her at all because she had a married name, Powell, because she was married to Gary Powell. I think that's the right dude. He's a legend in the stunt industry. His whole family are. And I got to work with his brother Greg a bit on Citadel, and he's an absolute legend. He's a good friend of my best friend and mentor, Ray Nicholas, who is the guy that got me into it. Can I? Oh, thanks. And he put the ice in. I didn't even see that. I was going to slight hand.
Slick.
Too fast for you.
It's too fast. Too fast for John.
All this high budget podcast.
Yeah, I'm pouring that the wrong way now. Shit. Favorite podcast ever already, by the way. Cheers.
He says that. To me.
I do. Just to be honest, man. I mean, I'm a cheat. I'm not a cheat date actually. I'm Gen X. I'm going to drink a lot of that, and I'll still be on my feet. But yeah, I'm easily bribed. Let's put it that way. Give me JD, and I'm going to hype you all day long. Right? So yeah, and I didn't recognise her, but Nikki was actually a martial artist, and
there are a lot of stunts.
Massively. So Lee Charles, who's doing very, very well, I knew him from the circuits. I met him on the World Championships in 2002 in Massacre in Italy, where I ended up with the bronze. Should have been a silver because I got fucking robbed. That's a story, if you want to hear that.
Yeah, go for it.
So the fight is online. The guy was called something like Radek Zednek or something like that. I can't remember. Czech dude. And he was an absolute fucking monster. Like, how he made my weight category, I do not know. He is a clear 3 inches taller than me. And if you see us stood next to each other on the tape, he's like, I was in shape, and he's like about 4 fucking inches. He looked like he'd come off a Terminator conveyor belt. All the Eastern European fighters did, including the women. It was mental. But
they're very strict on weight.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how he made that cut. I mean, I know there's weight cutting and there's weight cutting, but Jesus Christ,
185,
which is incredible. So maybe this guy was just super good at weight cutting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I handed him his ass. It's online. Have a look, please. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the fight, I lost the decision.
Yeah.
And you can see me getting in his face and, I'll see you again, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I realised he didn't speak English, and I was like, oh, whatever, fucking whatever. Raise his hand like, nice one, mate. See you later. Anyway, so there were only 5 of us in that bracket, right? So I got a bye in the first round, and then there was the Swiss lad that won it, who was quality. And he got a relatively easy fight. Of all the fighters there, he got like the easiest draw and just smashed the guy.
Yeah.
And then the Czech lad that I fought, Radek, he fought the Italian lad, and they had a war. The Italian lad was a big, stocky, tough guy, great athlete. And their fight was close. And in Italy, you'd have thought it would have gone to the Italian, right? But it didn't. It went to the Czech lad, and there was absolute uproar. Yeah. And then I'm not being funny, but I beat him cleaner. Yeah. I beat him a lot clearer than the Italian lad did. And then he got the decision again. And the Italian corner came over. My corner man, Chris, at the time, he came over and said, John, just had the Italian corner over saying that was a disgrace. They came over, they said, your lad easily won that fight. They said they thought their lad did. They put in a complaint in. They said, apparently the guy's Czech mafia. And I was like, Czech mafia? I'm like,
lucky he didn't speak English.
I was like, you know what? It is lucky he didn't speak English. And you know what? I quite like bronze. I bring my eyes up. We'll take that and go home with my eyes in my head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we'll leave that one. That was a mad one. That I remember some Turkish guy kicking off and pulling a gun out, and it was a pretty
real fight.
Oh, I've got some stories about the 2002 World Championships in Italy.
Yeah.
Mate, you ever speak to like Lee Charles or Rob Jones or any of the guys that were there? Yeah, that was just a crazy, crazy week. There was also a lot of there's a lot of pressure built up, so it just turns into like the world party championships afterwards, like a lot of drinking and shagging, basically. You know,
and a lot of dangerous people, though, aren't there? Like,
right. So I have never felt so fucking sorry for the door team at the local pub because honestly, all the Eastern European teams, they just look like they'd come off a fucking Terminator conveyor belt. They're chiseled, they're all enormous, they're all just like raised on the diet of like newborn babies and steroids. Yeah. You know, yeah.
I mean, UFC early on was a lot of steroids, like.
Oh, mate, yeah, we'll come on that later if you want. But like, anyway, it kicked off to fuck. Yeah. Surprise, surprise, it was between the English and the Germans to start with. Yeah. What a surprise. So there was one of the English lads ended up chinning and KOing one of the German lads, very good fighter actually. Yeah. And then literally all hell broke loose. And everyone was fighting. And it just looked like the end scene of The Dragon. Yeah. And you are talking... I mean this, it's the worst kickoff I've ever seen in my life. It's like you're talking 100 trained fighters of world caliber, right? Yeah. Kicking off. And the door team were some big, nasty looking dudes, and there's about 7 or 8 of them, and they were literally just stood back like...
Not for €10 an hour.
They were like, no fucking way. You know, and I couldn't blame them. I could not blame them. They were like literally just going, the fuck? You know what I mean? Because there was nothing they could do. Nothing they could do. Yeah. And I was chatting up some Canadian girl at the time actually, and she was like, "Oh, you know, you do full contacts, like that's illegal in my country." I was like, "All right, what else is illegal in your country?" You know? And then this bottle came whistling past her head, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I looked over and I saw it, and I was like, "You know what? Let's continue this conversation down the road," because I was like, I was not up for getting arrested in Italy. It's just like, but that was mad. That whole championships was just insane. It was one of the best times of my entire life. Yeah, that was 2002. So there you go. Yeah, long time.
Where'd you find that online? Is that?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Just type my name, and if you type it in John Jon Santry Santry or JOHN, you get different stuff up. But there's like, you know, there's tons of my stuff online, and I'll be honest about my level and my ability. I reached a world level. I reached like the bottom tier of the elite level. So to use a football analogy, I'd have been like Division 1, maybe the bottom of the Premiership. Yeah, you know, bottom of the Premiership, I think. Yeah. But I never cracked the top.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like back to you saying about you were surprised he could make the weight. What do you think of weight cuts? Like, 'cause I don't think it's right.
I don't think it's right at all. So again, I fought most of my career at 85 kilograms. That's in cruiserweight minus 86 kilograms. Now, if you look at the cruiserweights in kickboxing, in MMA these days, which is a similar weight, they're fucking huge. Yeah. Absolutely enormous, right? So really, I mean, even in kickboxing, I was fighting monster guys. Most of the guys I was fighting were sort of 6'4" plus. Yeah. Because they were guys that were weight cutting. I wasn't weight cutting. I was fighting at a normal weight, and I was still, like I say, 5-time British champion, world bronze medalist, and number 4 pro. Yeah. I think there's certainly a British ranking. I think it was a European ranking, to be honest.
I don't think it's good for anyone though.
It's terrible. Right. So what I'm saying is this: I've done like 5 weight cuts in my entire life. Yeah. Right. The harshest was like for the ex-fighter back in 2011, which is the other time I got knocked out, by the way. Yeah. Which was Andy Devant, who is.
Well, you're more likely to get knocked out after a weight cut.
This is where I'm going with it, right? So when you're dehydrating yourself, you're dehydrating the fluids around your brain too, right? And one of the reasons I make a joke about my brain probably being Swiss cheese, and it probably is. Yeah. But I listen to me. In seriousness, I'm still reasonably articulate. I'm stringing the sentence together. Yeah, I have problems. I have scary moments. I have. Yeah, blackouts. I have all sorts of shit that maybe I should get looked into a bit more, but you know, hey, we'll roll with that one. But you know, I'm not being funny. I'm not as punch drunk as a lot of my colleagues. Yeah, and one of the reasons I would say is I never weight cut. I weight cut like 5 or 6 times in my life, so I didn't get anything like as many knockouts as you'd think because like I have a lot of power, but I was fighting guys that really. Were naturally physically a lot bigger than me.
It makes no sense though. They should all just fight roughly your walk around weight.
Well, one championship do that. They do the on the day weigh-in, right? And at amateur, you do the on the day weigh-in, and I'm all for that. And I just think that needs to be the standard across the board, to be honest, because you would see a lot less serious injury, and you would see a lot
drained. Some of them don't look well when they're going into the ring. And
look, you're not fucking well. I've done 5 weight cuts, and okay, here's another story. Okay, My first ever professional MMA fight was on Ross Poynton's show. So Ross Poynton, if you remember, if you go back in the day with Bisping, he was on the Ultimate Fighter 3 with Michael Bisping. It was the guy Bisping knocked out with the flying knee. I think that was the securest place, actually, in the final. A very, very tough dude from Stoke-on-Trent, sort of kickboxing, Chinese kickboxing background, really good all-rounder. So he was like running a show, and I turned up to fight on that show, and I know I was at weight, right?
Yeah.
And I turn up, and I'm like 4 fucking kilograms over, and I'm like, mate, it's got to be your scales. I'm like, not being funny, because I've never missed a fucking weight ever. I'm like, it can't be.
Daniel Cormier, you lean on it to get
mate.
underweight.
I don't know how he did that day.
But like, yeah.
Bit racy.
Anyway, I ended up having to cut weight the day of the fight. I had to cut 4 fucking kilograms the day of the fight. So I went to a local leisure centre with a sauna, and I'm layered up, and I'm doing like shadow boxing and burpees and all sorts of shit, and I'm absolutely drained. Yeah. And I make the weight, right? And he's going, you got to though, because this guy he's only like, what was he saying? He's like, he's only like 82 kilogram. He's only 82 kilogram, and I was weighing in at something like, I think it was an 85 limit. I weighed in at 89.
Yeah.
Right. And he was saying he was only 81, 82 kilogram. Anyway, right. The guy, I'm fucked now, like absolutely drained. Yeah. The guy turns up later than me, come from Swansea, and he weighs in. He's 85 kilogram, and I'm like looking at Ross like,
no way.
So like, at the end, I said, keep the prize money, dude, and just buy yourself a new set of scales, man. Come on. But luckily, I well outclassed the guy. I beat him in 25 seconds because I wasn't gonna fuck around. To be honest, I was so drained. I'd be like, if this goes out the first round, I am dead. Yeah. So
I think when Pereira fought Izzy and Izzy knocked him out, I think Pereira got down to my weight.
Oh man, yeah.
Like, what was it? I think it was 170 that if I Alex Pereira should never be at that weight,
mate.
Pereira's a monster. Like, you see next to Tyson Fury, and they're like similar height.
So when I weighed in for the X Fighter in Manchester, that was a good show. So that was a great show. Some of that's online. I've got it on DVD. I'll lend it. Yeah, if not. Yeah. But like, you got loads of guys on there from BAMMA, Bellator, UFC. Loads of guys that went on to be massive names. It's a fucking great show. Loads of wicked finishes. And I was in an 8-man tournament, like an old school 8-man tournament. Unfortunately, I didn't get through the first round. I fought Andy Devant in the first round, and we actually had a great fight. We had a fantastic fight, really back and forth, and he knocked me out, and there was 15 fucking seconds of the round left. Yeah. If I could have just known that. That was another. That was like, it was a flash knockout, but man, I was gone. Yeah, I was gone. Like,
them seconds must seem a long time, though.
Oh, I had no concept of time. Yeah. Like, the commentator's going, Santry's doing a good job of retaining guard. I assure you, at that point, I'm fucking unconscious. Literally, right? I can show you the point where he knocked me out. It's a big, like, looping right hand on my temple against the cage. And then I actually fight on for about 30 more seconds, and I was out. Yeah. So what happens is, I'm like, I'm coming to, everything's black, and I'm like, I can just feel like, dum, dum. And I'm like, someone hitting me. I'm like, am I in a fight? I can hear the crowd. I'm like, it's crowd. It's a sport fight. It's probably tap. I was completely fucking gone.
Do you feel anything at that point when you're getting it and you're
pain? No, the pain, not usually.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. Like, an eye poke will stop you. Trust me. The eye poke, no matter how much adrenaline's in there, you'll feel that. Oh. Now, I could fight on with that one in the BKB, but like, it only affected the one eye. But fuck, I felt it, man. Oh yeah. But no, it's the day after. The day after sucks.
Yeah, like, a paper cut can hurt you more than being punched in the face.
Oh mate, it's so bad.
It's a different kind of pain. I've been punched in the face, and you didn't feel it. You bounce back up, but like you say, the next day you can feel the pain from it.
Yeah. The adrenaline does an enormous amount, and then it's the next day where you feel it.
Yeah.
It's like when I've done grappling tournaments, like just fought grappling, and it's like I wake up the next day and I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. I'm all right. I have a bit of a stiff neck, but it's it's not like, I've not got my eye hanging out. I'm not like stitched up.
If you knew there were 15 seconds left, do you think you could have held out?
Yeah, but I literally wasn't conscious, dude. Yeah. It's like he knocked me the fuck out. It doesn't even look like it on the video either, but I assure you, I was gone.
Absolutely out of it.
Absolutely gone.
Because you got the Ankalaev, his only loss before Pereira was Paul Craig, and he tapped with 1 second left. And you think,
I feel for that guy. I feel for him.
I mean, Paul Craig's elite jiu-jitsu.
He's superb.
But yeah, Paul Craig, like 1 second left, and he was winning the fight, and he tapped with 1 second, and you think,
Brutal.
You'd have heard the
Absolutely
10-second clacker, so in your head, just like, but it must last a lot longer than
you've got. It's a very with intense adrenaline under those circumstances. It's a different game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like everyone loves to criticize. Everyone loves to talk. Everyone loves to be an armchair fighter, an armchair fucking critic, or a fucking keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
But it's like, unless you've been in there, you don't know shit. So shut up. Seriously, just shut up. Have an opinion, have a chat by all means, but don't start slagging people off because you do not fucking know, and you've not earned the right to an opinion. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's nothing like it. But I mean, to me, also, like I said, that was the place to sort of help me keep it together. That's the place. I hate it as well. I hate the build up.
Yeah.
And like my adrenaline be pumping from my chest, and I'm like, I've done it over 300 times, and I'm like, the fuck you doing, John? You know what I mean? Why are you here again? You fucking idiot, man. And then like you get in there and there's 2 punches thrown up. Because I love it. Yeah. And I'm fine here. And then I'm peaceful. For however long it goes, that's the
Yeah, so like we were saying, what like Hollywood actors would you say like genuine fighters can handle themselves, are trained?
Tom Hardy, definitely.
He won like a competition jiu-jitsu, didn't he?
Yeah, he's won quite a few. He's a genuine BJJ guy, good shape, tough dude. Yeah, definitely the real deal. I'm trying to think.
Dolph Lundgren's supposed to be showed to.
Oh, okay.
Like,
100% Dolph Lundgren. So my sensei, Dave Morris, he used to train on the English Sabaki knockdown karate squad. So when I started in karate, it was real karate. It was under Dave and under my long-term sensei, John Salt, who sadly passed away about 3 months ago. So, that's...
he's a giant too as well, isn't he, Dolph Lundgren?
Dolph's massive. So...
Is he the guy from Rocky?
Yeah, Ivan Drago. But he has a, you can find stuff of him on YouTube fighting Sabaki in Japan. He was a monster. So the knockdown karate, I think it was illegal in Sweden. So he used to come over to England and train. So my sensei actually sparred with him back in the day. Yeah. And there's nothing funny about him. He's a very, very real dude. Also, if you have a look, you'll find a boxing match, Dolph Lundgren versus Oleg Taktarov, who was one of the early sort of pioneering UFC stars from back in the day, the days of Shamrock and Gracie.
Yeah.
I've trained with both Shamrock. Actually, Hoist Gracie gave me my blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is, And I wasn't even, so I went to a seminar and I wasn't even part of his association. I just went to meet him and train with him. And he pulled me over because I was a white belt, like 4-stripe. And he pulled me over and he points at my ear and he goes, "You fight?" And I'm like, yeah, I've had a few, bro. And he goes, "You still white belt?" He's like, "How long have you been training?" And I was like, "About 4 years, just training 4 years." He's like, "You pro fighter? You still white belt?" And I'm like, "Hey, I don't grade myself." You know what I mean? And he just went, "Oh." Anyway, end of the session, he goes, "You know what?" And you goes, throws me one, goes, "Put that on." And I'm like, that was so cool. That was like one of my crowning glory moments. But I digress slightly anyway. So coming back
on that anyway, have you seen that Moneyberg guy? He's got the black.
I've heard about it. I'm not overly familiar.
Yeah.
I've heard people sort of whinging about it and things. I don't pay too much attention. So
like the quickest black belt ever. But
you get it in like 2 years or something, he was saying.
Yeah.
What, from scratch?
Yeah.
I think 3.5 years.
From scratch?
Yeah. But he's apparently a billionaire.
If he was training like 6 to 8 hours a day, maybe.
He's training every day.
Okay, well, I don't know that.
But
guy.
he's rolling with like Gordon Ryan, Mikey Mishumi, Jake Shields gave him his belt.
Right. Well, if you're rolling with guys at that level and you're doing it full time and you're doing it like, sort of 4 hours plus a day, maybe. I don't know.
There's like a big controversy at the moment.
I've heard the controversy. I just like, it's one of those like social media stories that I just brush. I try not to get involved in shit, especially when it's negative. I just try and move past it. I don't know, dude. I don't know the guy. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, no doubt people buy stuff and what have you. I mean, fucking Elvis Presley was like a black belt in karate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I
okay.
didn't know that.
I've met and trained with Bill Wallace, who was the original middleweight, like the original middleweight kickboxing champion. Spectacular. He fought Chuck Norris at the end of...
Chuck Norris is still going, isn't he?
Chuck Norris is still going. He's a bad man. He's a bad man. He fought Jackie Chan at the end of Protector. He fought... what was it? What was the film, the Chuck Norris one he was in? I think it was A Force of One. Awesome. I grew up watching him, and that was cool. So the first time I trained with him was my mate's gym in Leeds. He had him over for a seminar. And bear in mind, I've been kickboxing like 25 years at the time. And I went and I learned 5 new things from that seminar.
Yeah.
And I loved it. That's what I love about seminars, right? So you have the basic mastery of any art, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get the artistry, you get the individual interpretation. So I can go and I've trained with some of the top guys ever. I got my blue belt from Hoist Gracie. I trained with Ken Shamrock, trained with Chuck Liddell, Billy Robinson, did a seminar with him, Ramon Deckers when he was alive. I'm more as well. And you can go and train with 10 top people and they'll show you the same technique and you'll come away with 10 completely different things. Yeah. And you get these like light bulb moments where you're like, it's a technique that you know inside out and backwards. It's second nature to you, but it's like, fuck, I never thought of putting that there, or I never thought, or I never thought of emphasizing that aspect of the technique.
Should have done ninjutsu.
So should have. I just wanted the suit, dude.
Well, Aspinall's dad trained from seminars. That's where he got all his belts from.
Yeah.
He said there was no jiu-jitsu where he was. He went to seminars.
On a side subject, have you seen that theory going around that Aspinall's dad isn't Aspinall's dad?
John Fury.
John Fury is Aspinall's dad. Yeah, they brought him on. Honestly, John Fury back in the day and Aspinall, spitting image of each other, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Then Aspinall's dad comes on, he's like
5
so much smaller than him, isn't he? Dead timid in that. I'll try and pull it up after, but Jesus Christ, he look spitting image.
But they asked Tom and they asked his dad.
He brought his dad over and was like,
yeah, we've had the DNA test.
He did say they had a DNA, didn't he? But yeah, that was
fuck. That's ace. Oh man.
Well, yeah, they are.
His dad seems cool.
Yeah, and the families are close, aren't they? Fury's and
I've never met John Fury. I've never really met Tyson, but I've done a fuck ton of unlicensed boxing as well as the bare knuckle. I did a ton of unlicensed boxing with gloves. One of the biggest unlicensed fights that happened about many years ago now. I don't think it's about 2009 or 10 or something like that. At the Ritz in Manchester, and you had Dominic Negus versus Chris Bacon, and that was a great fight. And I was on the undercard of that, and I actually got interviewed on that alongside Tyson Fury and Ricky Hatton, who was in attendance. Yeah. Oh man, sad one. And then they obviously interviewed Dominic Negus and Chris, and then they interviewed a few other undercard fighters, myself included. But it never saw the light of day. It was a real shame that. But like,
you ever meet Ricky Hatton?
Yeah, a few times. I met him. And my mate had him over to the old boxing martial arts gym that we had in New Mills, and I met him and had a chat with him and got a picture with my stepson and the world title he had at the time. He'd just beaten Costa Zoo. And him and his brother Matthew were heavily involved with sort of KO Promotions, which is Danny Hornsby's promotion in Manchester, superb promotion. And I fought for Danny for years. And Ricky and Matthew were at a couple of my fights, and they were at probably arguably the best fight I ever had. In boxing, not like but like one of the best fights I ever had. And I lost it. I lost the fucking decision by a point again. Go figure. But
he's supposed to be very down to earth.
What a guy! He was always dead humble, dead amicable, personable. So I met him a few times. So it really upset me when he passed.
Kind of goes back to what you were saying before, though, doesn't it? With the whole, it's in your head. You're either a fighter from the get-go, or you're not. When you stop fighting, them demons come back to you, because didn't they rule it suicide, Ricky Hatton?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I sort of touched on it earlier, but I have never had a very strong sense of myself.
Yeah,
I've never had a strong centre, and I replaced that with a role, an identity, and that identity was a fighter. And bear in mind, I started doing this at 8 years old, and I retired at like 43, nearly 44. And then obviously I had the stunts, but then unfortunately shortly after the fighting came to the end, my hip was just too bad. I mean, that last fight I did, I had to work on my footwork. I employed my longtime friend and coach, Dave Breed, who's a superb, unbelievable martial artist and coach. And he was, how like cool is this? He was in my corner in my first ever in-ring fight in 1997. And he was in my corner in my last ever fight in like 2022.
Remember the photo you put?
Yeah, cool as hell.
Corner you the whole way through.
No, we
I think that's an issue with fighters. They stick with the one person and they're not learning anything new. Like in boxing, Joshua stuck with the same guy for a long time, even when it was going wrong. I think Connor's stuck with his same guy, even when it's going wrong. And sometimes you just need to have a look and try something different. Tyson Fury stepped away and went with Sugar Hill when he beat Deontay Wilder.
Get out there and put yourself around and shake it up. And
not
I
in
like
a bad way.
No.
Out with
Listen. My long-term training, my long-term mentors and senseis, I have the utmost respect for them. Yeah. They gave me the core of who I am, not just what I am as a fighter, but who I am. And that's never going to go. Yeah. But I had to go other places and learn different things and shake it up. I had to. And Dave, I mean, I fought on squads alongside Dave over the years, and I've also, trained under him. I mean, he's a colleague of mine, really. But it's like, okay, I've been training 38 years, but I'm not a fucking Jedi. I can't step outside of my body and watch myself objectively.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to employ a trainer. Yeah, of course I am. You know what I mean?
And sometimes it's better to get another person's opinion.
Always. And never too cool for school. Never know it all. Like, this is the thing. It's like, I could never call myself like master. You know what I mean? I just can't. I've been training for 38 years. I've had over 300 competitive fights sportively. I've had more than that real life in streets and, street corners and pub car parks and nightclubs and things over the years, because I keep going back to the doors. It's my go-to. Yeah. I'm off from now again, thank fuck. But
Aspinall was a doorman.
Yeah.
Flagging it off though, weren't he? He was like, "Yeah, doormen don't do anything. Like, it's a dead easy job."
I think he got
fucking not
KO'd by a girl at one point.
Yeah.
He was on some.
He's on like a posh venue though, weren't he? Like, he wasn't on the rough. I mean, you've worked some rough, horrible shit.
Yeah, I have. I really have.
It's one of that.
But he said they'd put him on the door because he was the big guy.
Yeah.
Like, just for the look.
You don't need to be a big guy to be on the door. Look at our friend Tom Lockyer.
Yeah.
Fucking, we call him the tumor. Small and deadly. It's ridiculous. One of the most feared guys.
So, like, one of the toughest guys I ever knew was a guy from Blackpool who got me the job down there.
Yeah.
It was a guy called Mac Chamberlain, and he was my mate Andy Brownbridge's Kung Fu sensei. But he was also, like, he was always doing, like, bare knuckle fights and things, and he's, like, no holds barred bare knuckle fights with the Travellers and things, and he was ex-military, and he was just a very bad man. Yeah. And you wouldn't look twice at him. And he could, I mean, you were discussing the size issue. Yeah. So, I mean, he could do some incredible stuff. He took out, like, multiple opponents who were much, much bigger. Yeah. And my take on that, does size and strength and what have you matter? Yeah, of course it does. Yeah. But obviously, the skill level is a massive, massive part of that. It's like one of those computer games where, like the old-fashioned computer games where you used to build up your strength, your speed, your stamina, your skill, right? If the skill bar is up there, right, and the big guy's skill bar's down there, this guy's going to win.
Okay, here's a scenario. Conor McGregor's in a bar.
Right.
Not drinking, he's been in training, so he's like, good shape.
Still drinking.
Conor McGregor. Kid kicks off with him, he slaps the kid goes. Kid goes, gets his uncle, who's Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury comes in, like, me and you outside. Conor McGregor, Tyson Fury. Who wins?
I mean, Tyson is fucking enormous.
It would be 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, and elite, and an elite striker. And also, you got to understand, MMA is the most complete sort of fighting form, and it's about as close to a street fight as you can go. Well, Valley 2, though, which is bare knuckle MMA with the headbutts and the stamps and everything, that's about as close as you can go to a street fight.
Well, street fight end up 2-on-1 half the time, or 3-on-1 if they're with.
Almost always. So almost every time I've fought in real life, it's been multiple opponents. Mm-hmm. almost every time.
Because it's always someone with a friend, and if you're down on the floor, they're kicking.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got to do the sport. You've got to do the environment-specific training.
Yeah,
because that's where you're going to come
which is what ninjutsu was.
Dude,
right.
Stop.
They should bring it back.
Right, start. Just let me get some more beer. You're going to talk about ninjutsu. I just got to drink more. Hold on, please.
Honestly,
I do love my ninja films though. Like Sakura Killers. You ever seen Sakura Killers? No. Greatest ninja film ever, bro. Trust me. Just
have a look for it.
No, you need to find. If you haven't seen Sakura Killers, you need to see Sakura Killers. Just the greatest ninja film of all time, in my humble opinion. Closely followed by the first two American ninja films, But
Ninja Kid's Phantom Force.
Mate, I've seen that. Oh wow, how old are you, dude?
21.
Yeah, me too. That's how come you know all the same stuff. Yeah. Mate, I'm impressed that you know Ninja Kid's Phantom Force, right? You can go deep on the old movies.
Well, yeah, Tyson Fury, Conor McGregor.
Well,
1-1.
Tyson.
You thought McGregor, didn't you?
I'm seeing a different point because look at Mighty Mouse. He thought that in jiu-jitsu.
In jiu-jitsu, though, not street fight.
Jiu-jitsu can be applied to street fight.
It can, but here's the thing. Right? I've got a purple belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I've done a couple of years of catch wrestling. I trained under Ian Bromley, who is sadly no longer with us, but was one of Roy Wood's top students. Roy Wood, excuse me a second. Roy Wood is the head of the Snake Pit in Wigan. The Snake Pit was the gym that Billy Riley started, that produced Carl Gotch and Billy Robinson. I trained with Billy Robinson while he was still alive. Just the seminar, but I mean, again, it was like life-changing. Took away 5 or 6 points that sort of stuck with me and became part of my game immediately. So yeah, like I'm a solid grappler, and I've got pro MMA experience and like about a million fucking street fights, right?
You don't want to be on the floor.
No, you fucking don't. So I train to get up because his mates are running over to stamp my fucking head in or stab me, right? This is what this is the difference. I teach you this, right? I teach you this. This is the sport specific stuff. So I do very, very different training for street than I do for like the ring. Don't get me wrong. The best fighters in the world are going to be the guys that train to do it in a competitive, sportive manner. But they still need to do that environment-specific training because it's different. Yeah. So a real fight's so much more emotional. The environment is completely different. Most fights are what we would term lineup fights, where dialogue is going to be used as a precursor to a physical attack. So you're going to be like 18 inches, 2 foot distance, right? So you're inside of normal striking range already. You're also going from a dead stop to an explosion. Now, in that respect, traditional martial arts and the trad karate training where you're stood in a big, a long, solid stance and you're exploding and throwing a gyakuzuki every time, that actually is a better way of training and is a more useful mechanic than sort of your traditional sort of boxing, kickboxing, pad work, because you aren't warmed up, you aren't on your toes. Yeah. You can't raise your guard, not really. As soon as you've hit, yeah, but you don't want to. You don't want to tip them off that you know what they're doing. If you're still in that interview stage, you want to be trying to de-escalate the fight. You're using all your conflict management skills.
So I could de-escalate Conor McGregor and Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to try that. Fuck that.
I think Tyson would keep him at distance.
Also, I'm not just being funny, but like there's just the sheer size difference. As good as you are, as skillful as you are, it's like saying like. It's like me versus
saying the kicking will.
It can't look. Like, I'm not saying the guy would be helpless.
No,
listen. Come back to we were talking about eye pokes, right? And I said about my son sticking his finger in my eyes at like 2 years old on my daughter. Yeah. So I'm a highly trained 14 stone, MMA fighter, bare knuckle fighter, kickboxer. I've got shit tons of experience as a fighter in real life on the street, and yet my 2-year-old hospitalized me with an eye poke, right? So
slight size difference.
There's never an absolute, right?
Yeah.
In real life, here's the thing: you can be the fucking UFC champion, you can be XSAS. I don't give a shit. You're vulnerable, and the second you stop thinking you're vulnerable, you're really vulnerable. Right? Yeah. And that's why I will always train till my dying day, right? Whether I go back to competition, which I might have to, so I stay off the 6 o'clock news and don't top myself, or whether I don't, but I'm always going to stay sharp for real life because, it's not a nice place out there, is it? You know what I mean? Let's be honest. But
I think people discount boxers' other skills that they might have. They're just
people
he's a
fucking
boxer, so he can only
mate,
punch.
people right. So there is, like I say, you need that environment specific training. You do right, and there is a genuine argument to say that like a pure street fighter, like an untrained fighter, but someone who is used to applying it in a real life situation, someone that is an experienced scumbag, mugger, or attacker or whatever, right? Because they're used to carrying it off in those live situations. Yeah, it counts, all right? But then you get someone like me, and I've got 38 years of martial art training and hundreds of competitive bouts. I'm pretty much desensitized to adrenal response. I understand what's happening. And also, even on the rare occasions where I have been caught in street fights, right, my trained response as a trained fighter, I recognize, even if I get fucking chinned and rocked, it's only happened a couple of times in real life, and then they paid, right? Because
but you'll have a good understanding of distance.
Well, all of that, and it's innate. It's innate. Yeah. I don't need to.
You don't
think
have to think
it.
about it. You'll know. I can hit him from here.
Well, I can be chatting to you now, and I get crack from the back there. Okay, innately, my body understands what's happened. I've been fucking hit from that direction. What's my response as a trained fighter is to turn around and put some violence back in that direction as soon as possible. So unless you do actually take me out with that first one, which is possible, right? Because you've only got to be looking the one way. You haven't got eyes in the back of your head, you know. So if you don't take me out with that first one, then you better be ready because I'm going to go. Yeah. I'm already on you. You know what I mean? And so there's that aspect. You need to me, if you want to look after yourself in real life, dedicate yourself to an art. And if you were just going to do one, of course I'm going to say of course I'm going to say ninjutsu. Ninjutsu, obviously. Or failing that, MMA, because
honestly, I don't believe it.
They taught you about fighting.
Watch the Sakura Killer. Watch the Sakura Killer. That's all you need to know. So yeah.
So you had to bet your house on it, Fury over
in a street fight. Fury.
I don't.
Why do you think McGregor?
I just think, for example, when I did that first in the club, like I knew I was punched pretty all right. I was mint. Got hit with a leg kick. It fucked me up. I had no idea. Like I panicked.
Well, Tyson Fury's training his legs as well, not for kicking, but he's been fighting.
But if his
whole
leg
life
kick fucking hurts, mate. Like take one, fucking hurts. Take two, you can. 3, you're not walking. Like they hurt really bad.
I think I'd have my money on Tyson Fury.
I don't know, mate. I'm not taking your predictions.
Wait a minute. How much coke have they both had in this scenario?
This is both sober.
Because trust me, that
maybe they're fighting over the coke, like
well, that's what I'm saying. I could see that. That one though, you're saying about the leg kicks and everything. You're absolutely right. Like I've dropped people with them. I have.
I mean, Pete Connor's a lot smaller as well. Like Connor now, pretty chunky, pretty big.
He's like my height now.
Yeah, but he's not Pete. Peak, he's what, 145?
Yeah, something like that.
5'8", 5'9", isn't he?
Yeah. He's not big, and Fury's what, a foot taller, way longer reach. And
so also, like I say, it's just a sheer strength and size. So it's like saying me versus a silverback gorilla. It's like, yeah, I'm a lot more technically superior than a silverback gorilla, but he's just going to rip my fucking arms out my socket.
Like if it was Fury against Ngannou, they're both the same size roughly. Ngannou's going to win.
Yeah,
he's got more skills, and they're the same size.
Not in a boxing match,
no,
but in a street fight, Ngannou.
Yeah, Ngannou. But with Conor, you've got a foot difference, probably how many stone difference?
Oh yeah.
Fury's got an understanding of distance, so he can keep away from the kicks.
But then again, like if it was purely just striking, I kind of get where you're coming from. But then you go back to the Mighty Mouse fight when he fought that 20-stone bloke, mate. He fucking wiped the floor with him.
But the 20-stone bloke wasn't punching him.
No. But like
jiu-jitsu, if you're in rules, in a street fight, there's not really any rules.
No, there's none. This is literally warfare. So that's the thing. And I was just coming back to finish that point off. Sometimes people talk to me like, one of the best comments I heard was because I'm like, I like to think that I'm a reasonably nice human being, right? And someone said, like he wouldn't be hard if he didn't do all that stuff. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you mean I'm not a fucking prick? Yeah. It's like you're confusing being an asshole with being like a dominant sort of alpha.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, fuck you. But it's like what he was getting at was, or what he was trying to get at, I think, was I mean, he was obviously very confused, and he thinks that attitude and being an arsehole is something to do with being a hard man or a real man or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So we're 2-1 for Tyson Fury. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a Conor McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor kicked fuck out of him all day long.
There was another one I saw. Do you know Brendan Schaub?
Yeah.
He was saying him in his shape now. I mean, I think like 40s, not fought for a long time. He said he'd absolutely destroy Ilia Topuria, as Ilia Topuria is now. And what's he fighting at? 155?
155, something like that. What weight's Schaub, though, again?
He was a heavyweight in the
He's
UFC.
a big dude,
So he's well over 200 now.
Yeah.
Put weight on. Who do you think would win in that?
Yeah, Schaub.
Even with no training for
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not...
this amount. He's saying now.
He's
talking now.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy's still
just on the side.
an elite level heavyweight. So look, all
He
things...
knocked out Crocrot in his...
Okay, like, let me put it this way. I told you, I think I fought heavier than I should have fought. Yeah. Well, there's arguments there because I can still string a sentence together because I didn't do the weight cuts and I didn't get the knockouts that you'd expect because I do have power, but I didn't get the insane brain damage either, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Point being, I handled myself very, very well. Like, I still won the vast majority of my fights in all disciplines against opponents that were naturally a lot bigger than me. But without blowing my own trumpet, that's because my skill level was way off the chart compared to theirs. All things being even, of course size matters.
Yeah. I mean, Ilya's probably more skilled.
Yeah.
Like, because Ilya is elite of the elite.
Again, it's like going back to the analogy of the old-fashioned computer game. It's like the skill level can be right up there, right? But if his skill level's here and his skill level's here, but his weight size and power is up there and his is there, then this guy's still going to have the edge.
So what weight do you think Brendan Schaub could run through the UFC? Like, Ilya's the top 155 pounder. So you're saying he could beat every 155 pounder, every 145? So
probably. I think he'd start to struggle when he got to...
Who's the champion 170?
Well, okay. So he starts to talk about the 170 guys. They're walking around a lot bigger than that. So that's where he's going to start to encounter some problems. And then anything above that, you know, especially if they're talking about guys that aren't like cutting weight, that are just fighting at the natural weight and things, you know, so like from the middleweight division upwards, he's going to be in trouble. You know what I mean?
So if he fought Izzy, say.
Yeah. That's...
Izzy.
Oh, yeah, Izzy.
Schaub.
Izzy kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Islam?
Probably.
Because Islam should be 170 champion.
Should be, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
He's quite a big dude, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably.
So you reckon 155 is the limit of...
Okay, it's an interesting question. I've never had it put like that. Probably around that, yeah. I mean, like, as soon as you start...
giving away probably 78.
As soon as you start hitting, like, the... Certainly as soon as you start hitting, like, the middleweights... We're getting into then he's going to start struggling. The really lighter guys, the guys who are middleweight, who are naturally a lot bigger, you know, when they're walking around, okay, then you're going to start to struggle.
Do you not think the speed would be a factor as well? Obviously,
listen, I'll tell you this now. I'm going to come back and say this again. I'm talking a game of percentages. Right? Okay.
Yeah, no one can know. It's just
no. Listen. Can that smaller, really talented guy, or even a small, look, I'm not being funny, on the right day, even a smaller, less talented guy, everyone's got a puncher's chance. Yeah. And if you, I don't know, gouge your fingers into both of somebody's eyes just off the top of my head, then that really, I don't know, that really is a bit of a game changer. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, okay, I'll put it this way. I beat people in street fights that I probably wouldn't have beaten inside of a competitive arena, right? Because I'm not fucking sparring with you. I'm trying to maim you, kill you, whatever I need to do.
Or just disable you.
I'm going to just disable you. I'm not going to fuck around. So it's like, you know, we talked about the eye pokes and things like that. So that's like my A game.
Yeah.
Anything that's illegal in MMA is like my A game in a real life situation, because I'm not there to fucking spar. I'm not there to score points. I am there to disable you, maim you, and if necessary, I've never had to do it, although a couple of times I've come very, very close, and I don't have any ethical problem with it because that was the severity of the situation. Yeah. All of these situations that I'm referring to were looked at by the police, so I'm not saying anything controversial, but, you know, like, fuck them. Anyway, but yeah,
Well, he also said he had a little kickoff with Nate Diaz online. They were going back and forward, and he said, "In a real fight, me and you, I'd snap you in half, like as you are." Nate was fighting 170 at one point.
Yeah,
like,
but Nate was a small 170.
Yeah, definitely.
Nate was like a small 170. I mean, there's guys that are.
So again, like the street fight, Nate Diaz and Schaub. You're gonna go Schaub on the side.
Probably go Schaub.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
I don't think that the differential in the skill level is enough to counteract the enormous size difference.
Like if you fought Khabib, I think Khabib would win. That's
Against Schaub?
Yeah. Khabib was wrestling bears as a child. Khabib's strength is like
I know, but well, let's just say it'd be competitive. You know what I mean? It's like
But you think Nick Diaz, Nate
in
Diaz
in a street fight?
Yeah.
Nick
or Nate?
Nate,
Yeah, both
Nick.
of them.
Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a street fight, I think walks all over him.
Nate over Schaub.
Yeah. In a street fight, competitive, no. Street fight, 100%.
I don't think Nate's got the power.
Nate's a fucking gangster, mate. Like he's.
But you got look again. Right, there's all the fucking heart, spirit, aggression in the world. There's all the intent in the world, and I'm not saying that doesn't count, and it can count. Yeah. Like, am I saying that Nate Diaz couldn't beat him? Absolutely not. He could.
Yeah,
he could.
Yeah.
He absolutely could. He's an elite level fighter.
Yeah.
And if he gets anything in, and we're talking about a street fight, so we're talking about all in. Yeah, mate. If the guy lands a fucking nice eye strike or groin strike or throat strike or something, it's fucking over.
Yeah. That's the
I'm
same
just
with
saying,
anyone, even
of course. I'm just saying,
have a puncher's chance.
But if you're saying who does the percentages, who does the percentages lie with? Who does the fuck me?
Yeah.
Put my teeth in. Statistics lie with.
Yeah, I think Schaub takes out Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
I don't think he takes out Khabib at all, or Islam.
Any of the Dazigstan lot, like
the smaller ones.
Smaller ones are fucks, but like the bigger ones, you might be getting some.
Schaub and McGregor. Probably go Schaub. You go McGregor, wouldn't you?
But honestly, the only thing I will say is like I said, it's like we're talking percentages and statistics.
Yeah.
So that's who I would go with there. The one thing I will say, and you absolutely cannot emphasize this enough, in real life, anyone, and I mean fucking anyone. Yeah.
But in general, it's the bigger guy.
In general, but I would say that the puncher's chance is increased in real life. Because there are no rules, there are no limits. It is warfare on the in the microcosm. It's like we're not there to spar or score points. We're talking about taking somebody out. It's like, yeah, it can happen. It can happen.
Have you ever come across someone who was just bigger than you and thought, no chance?
No.
Or do you not see it?
No, I don't fuck. Yeah. And even if I do think no chance, if you're talking about like in a real situation, or you're talking about in the real situation. Well, I'm not even in the ring. Even in the ring,
it's supposed to be about the
yeah, but I don't know. Listen, mate. I mean, I've fought in open weight competitions, and like I fought at heavyweight, and I am not a heavyweight. I am now, but that's I'm nowhere near fighting fit or fighting weight or anything now. But like, no. Not in the street and not in the ring or the cage. It's like, if I've got something or someone in front of me, I'm going for it. I'm fucking 100% committed and going for it. And then what will happen. And to be fair, I've rarely lost.
Yeah.
And I like, the one thing I will say, and this is not like in any way, shape or form cocky, and this is not in any way, shape or form bragging, I've never lost a street fight. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait. I lost one when I was 9 years old. To Stuart Weston. Stu, nice one, dude. I levered him when I was 11, though. We had the rematch. I did him.
I've settled this outside.
Like, in seriousness, like, that is honestly the only time I ever lost. And that was why, by the way, he'd done some boxing and he fucking just annihilated me. And that's when I thought, fuck the grappling, the judo, and I went to the striking. Yeah. I should absolutely have kept the grappling going. But anyway, I mean, I caught up. I've done a fair amount. My grappling's decent. It's solid. Yeah. And I'm working on it more now. And I'm going to continue. I mean, I'm 47 in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to continue going forward and getting as improving as much as possible, you know.
You're moving into the catch wrestling side of things as well, aren't you?
Yeah. I've gone back to the catch. I love the catch. I started in that and then I went to the jits, and now I've very much come back to the catch because I'll tell you this now, for street stuff, I've used way more catch than jits because jits is predominant.
Have you had a street fight recently?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. The thing with street fights, it can change your life. You can knock them down. They bang their head on the curb.
They're dead.
They're dead. You're in prison.
I know.
Believe
me, I know. Believe me, I know. I've worked on and off as a nightclub bouncer for like 30 years because the 5-year plan keeps going to shit. So like
every doorman, they're all like, I'm going to retire this year. I'm going to retire this
All the best doormans are wannabes, asking they want to be something the fuck else. Right? Anyone that actually wants to be a doorman's usually actually a fucking intolerable bellend. It's something that we do to earn money and pass the time while we're actually trying to get a life back on track for the fucking umpteenth time.
Do you know what though? Like to debate that, I was going to give it up a couple of weeks ago. I think I'd miss it too much if I wasn't there on a Saturday night. It's like a social thing for me as well. Getting out of the house, you know, if you're on with a good team, got a good set of mates around you, it's a laugh. You're getting paid off a laugh.
It's very much a love-hate relationship. I give you that.
Yeah.
Fighting was a love-hate relationship for me. Life's a fucking love-hate relationship for me, right? I mean, I know what you're saying.
So like over the road, like working with you guys, some of the best.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. And yeah, we had an incredible crack, and there were some incredible stories. Do I regret it? No. Not a second. Am I good to leave it? Yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go, mate. I mean, I'm not being funny. It's like, okay, out of 30 years, I've probably worked 18. Yeah. It's still a long fucking time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Still a long time. Still a lot of fucking hours. Still a lot of fucking experience.
There's a lot of people with badges now that shouldn't really have a badge, though.
Most of them.
We work with them on a weekly basis, mate.
The SIA is fucked up. The SIA was never about cleaning up the industry. The SIA was about the government taking a fucking pound of flesh out of another industry that was supposedly unskilled and cash in hand, like they've done with taxi drivers, like they've done with building
just
labourers.
So they can get their
cut.
Yeah,
and like, have you seen the shit they teach on that fucking course? What a joke!
It'll get you hurt if you try.
You die.
Doing that
you
technique.
Fucking die.
Yeah.
Right. 100%. And basically, it's like this is called a safety hold. I'm like, safe for who?
No,
safe
they did
for
ninja.
SIA.
You're only Get Sheridan on his teaching all.
Mate, honestly, they're missing a trick. They should be teaching fucking force chokes like Darth Vader and mind bullets and shit like that.
What's that guy called? Fucking Hollywood actor guy. Doesn't even touch him, does he? He's just like, they run at him and it's like, chuck him to the side. That guy. That is basically...
Who you mean?
Called? Fuck, he had like a
Your
big...
memory's worse than mine.
Oh, no. Jade, what's he called? The guy that fucking... He's a Hollywood actor. He's a big guy now, like thingy, but you see... all these videos of people like running at him and
Steven Seagal.
That's it, yeah.
So I saw him playing blues at Buxton Opera House down the road, which is surreal.
He's Russian now, isn't he?
Yeah, mate, he's an interesting dude.
He's a fucking weird guy.
Aikido.
Which is not
legit Aikido guy.
Look, I'm not.
Whether Aikido,
Aikido legit. Yeah.
That's like that in itself is a controversial statement. Okay, I will tell you this. There are little tiny fractions of Aikido that are practically applicable, but you better be and then they like the kind of grip breaks and things that. But you better be drilling those under pressure with somebody punching you in the fucking face if you want that to work in real life.
To be fair,
which I do.
Some of his movies were all right.
I love these
like
movies.
For Death,
mate,
movies
is quality.
Movies
are movies. So obviously, listen, dude, I work in the movies as well, right? The movie world is a very different world to the real world. I can tell you that firsthand. I mean, the one thing I will say is I don't think there are many people on the face of the planet. I'm not blowing my own trumpet in any way, but like I have competed across the board at a high level in a number of combat sports and different disciplines. I have also had an enormous amount of experience with real world violence, and I have also had an enormous amount of experience of the stunt world and the movie world and things like that. So I've got a pretty solid overview of the whole picture, right? And I definitely have an opinion. I definitely have the right to have a fucking opinion. So yeah, Steven Seagal, don't get me wrong, very, very slick at what he does and what have you. How practical it would be in real life?
Well, Van Damme wanted to batter him, didn't he?
There was a big beef between them.
So, you know, Gene LaBelle twisted him up, right? So Gene LaBelle was an old catch wrestler. Now, Gene LaBelle was fucking legit, right? He's no longer with us. He was one of Ronda Rousey's coaches.
Yep, didn't he choke him out? And
apparently pissed himself. I don't know.
Pissed himself.
I don't think I'm ever going to wear the guy's doing
He was
BBBs
asleep.
anyway. I don't care.
Right,
Whatever. He put him the fuck out any which way. But apparently he's got a bit of a bad reputation for leathering stuntmen as far as
Michael J. White said on the films he's done, he'd been battering all the stunt guys, but wouldn't do it to him because he's a legit fighter. Michael J.
White is legit.
He's
Michael
in
J.
that
White.
MMA film, and he was
good few films. Michael J. White.
He's in
films off Mega.
Never Back Down.
That's it.
With Josh Barnett, whom I have
Yeah.
met and trained with and talked at length with, and he's part of the Snake Pit in Wigan.
Yeah.
So he learned under Carl Gotch and Billy Robinson over in Japan, along with people like Sakuraba, the Gracie Hunter, and then obviously Billy Robinson on the pro wrestling front trained many people, including Ric Flair, arguably the greatest of all time. So there's some crazy lineage there. It's weird. I mean, I'm a huge professional wrestling fan, always have been, and it's kind of cool that I've been associated even a little bit. And I'm now my hips healing and I'm getting back into it. I'm so going to get down the Snake Pit and start working with those guys again. I am going to pick my jits up. I've got my purple belt in jits. I'm going to try for my black. I don't give a shit if it takes me till I'm 60. I will get there. But yeah, I'm going to get back onto all of that.
Do you like any of the WWF? WE kind of thing.
Love it, man. Absolutely. It's pantomime. It's proper. It's soap opera for blokes the way it should be done, right? It's awesome. It's storytelling. It's a live stunt show, right? And some of those
They
guys
are skilled.
Some of them are more than skilled. They're all skilled.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a stuntman, but I'm also a legit fighter, and that's like somewhere in between. And I would absolutely love to do. I'm not gonna like at 47 with a hip replacement, two fucked shoulders, a brain that looks like frontal lobes like Swiss cheese. I'm probably not going to become like the next top pro wrestler, but I would love to do like a white collar one or just a couple of my mates have gone into it.
I think a lot of UFC ones will slide over.
Ken Shamrock, I trained with Ken Shamrock, met Ken Shamrock, chatted with him.
But they're under the same umbrella now. They're both owned by the same company.
Owned by the same company. And to be honest, there is an awful lot of crossover.
And the money in UFC is not great.
No.
For what they do.
I mean, you got to look at the way pro wrestling came about as well. It came about through fixing fights, right?
Yeah.
Because they realised they were fucking each other up every single night. And I've fought for money, right? It's not easy. Yeah. I mean, I know I still got these, boy band good looks. I don't know, I look pretty good considering the amount of wars I've had.
The amount of people though that like Sean, for example, compare you to Sean, his speech is a lot slower and he's a lot thingy.
I wish him well.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Great at what he does, but like he's, you can tell that he's a fighter that's had a few knocks to the head, sort of thing. But
I'm not being rude, but
yeah.
That's
Absolutely,
part of the game, and a lot of my colleagues, and I've also like let's not like gloss over how fucking dangerous that game.
Oh
is.
yeah, absolutely.
People die, yeah. And if I do decide to go back for my mental health, then just understand that after as long as I've been doing it, it's my choice.
Yeah.
If I do peg it in a ring or a cage or between a set of hay bales.
Most fighters would prefer that though.
I would.
Like if you asked any of them, like especially the ones who sit at home depressed when they're not fighting, and some of them are going to bare knuckle FC.
That's why
they should have made the money where they don't have to.
Mike Perry.
If I was coming back to anything,
Mike Perry's good at it though. But there's some of
superb.
them that Luke Rockhold, he went in and did it, and he was like, "There's not that much money in this for me to get my face absolutely ripped open." And Luke Rockhold's a big enough name where he shouldn't need to do them kind of fights.
Honestly, if I go back, it's not the money, it's the mental health.
Yeah.
It's the space, it's the freedom, it's the identity again. So like I said, I sort of switched the identity of a fighter for the identity of like a stunt performer. And I was on a crazy run for like 2 years. And then I had to have my hip replacement because I bounced back and forth between the Citadel TV show and Dungeons and Dragons. And I got friendly with Nikki Berwick. As I said, I actually then finally recognised who the fuck she was, in that she used to be a very good martial art. Well, she is a very good martial artist, but she used to be on all the circuits I was. She was like a very good creative kata person. And there's tapes I've got where I was headlining one show and she was on that show doing the demos.
Yeah.
So it's like crazy small world. I finally put two and two together with my adult brain. Hi, Nikki. Sorry for not recognising who you were.
Did he recognize you though?
I don't think so. I mean,
It doesn't matter.
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. It's like I've been around a long time and I've moved in a lot of circles, and it's like, and I know a hell of a lot of people, but I'm still fairly anonymous. One of my mates described me as the most unfamous famous person ever, and I loved that. I thought that was brilliant. You know what I mean? But I'm slightly digressing. So,
did you want fame out of it, or was it just?
Just money, bro. Yeah. Once upon a time. Fuck, sorry.
That's a loud, silent ringtone.
Sorry, I'm gonna let that fuck. Let's just turn that off. Just 1 second. Okay. So sorry. That's so unprofessional. That would get me. I'm upset now. You know what I mean? I've learned to turn my phone off on set most of the time, so just yeah, it's because I'm drinking. I'm not allowed to drink on set for good reason. No. Where were we? Sorry. Fame.
Fame,
No,
money.
right, okay. So once upon a time, I had a kind of like an intense want to make the world understand me and to be seen. And now I truly couldn't give a fuck. I'm middle-aged and I'm broken and I've been up and down and smashed around, and I honestly couldn't give a flying fuck. It's a much healthier place to be. Yeah. It's like people, you see people posting on Facebook like statuses about how much they don't care. It's like, well, you probably do because you're posting about it. Yeah. It's like, I don't care. Yeah. I ain't gonna say it. It's like, it's part of my being. It's like, and until you're middle-aged and grumpy as fuck with like, your body's falling apart and stuff, it's like you reach a level where you're just like, yeah, fuck it. It's like if I get up and I'm on this side of the daisies, it's like it's cool. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
So you'd rather the money than the fame?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You were opposite way, weren't you? You wanted the fame.
Money's never bothered me. There's nothing I would do for money that I wouldn't do for free. Like
ninja classes.
I had to pay for those.
Can't believe you paid for ninja, bro. So. Just come and see me next time. Fucking hell. I'll take your money and I'll actually teach you something worth teaching, but
Silent assassin here. Never been defeated.
Never fought, but never been defeated.
I've never had to.
Yeah, that's fairly moving the dog.
Well, maybe you're doing something right then. You're living your life in a more healthy manner than me.
No, I used to kick off every single week.
Sheridan is one of the most violent, non-violent people I know. He is.
So you got the most famous non-famous person, the most violent non-violent person. Okay, that's cool.
When Sheridan loses his temper, he turns into a 7 foot 20.
I don't see height or weight or anything like that. I'm very calm until I'm not.
To be fair, mate, that's my experience on the door. It's like, I think most people are like that after enough marching powder. You know what I mean? They stick enough coke up their nose. Ever. You just like that. No. Don't ever take that, because that would be terrifying, mate. You'd be dead.
Remember one night, that guy who was a giant. Do you remember?
Out the door? Me, yeah.
He's going to be hard to get rid of. I took that in the back of my head. I'm thinking, no, I'll get rid of him.
Yeah, I dragged Sheridan back in.
So I go out to do something. I was in a bad mood anyway. And I came back in. He was at the door. And he was like, and you're a wanker too. Me? I'm on the step and he's still like a foot taller than me.
You'll know him, a huge guy. You'll recognize him if you ever saw him. Like,
and I've got a doorman stood there, so I'm thinking, if it goes off, there's a doorman here. So like, who the do you think you're talking to? He's like, huh? I'm thinking, Tilly, put your arm between us, like, quickly. Because I wasn't at the point where I went to punch him. Tilly's just stood there, like, looking around, like, listen, I'm going to knock you out. Well, up here. And then he turns to like face me. So I'm thinking, I'm going to have to do something here because this dickhead doorman's doing nothing. So I had to dash him into the street and he flew further than I thought. I'm thinking, a bit strong. Still waiting for a doorman to like, come back in. No, it was a girl who pulled me back in. I'm like, fucking kill him. And he was huge.
Yeah.
Well, I used to go out in Manchester a lot and I'd kick off with gangsters, everybody. And they all thought,
oh, mate.
He's small, so he must know something if he's like not scared. And I got through years of never having to because I was a lunatic. They were like, leave this guy alone. Like,
I mean, mate, to be honest, when ignorance is mutual, confidence is king.
It was always confidence, like I said, with the pool.
But also, no. It goes a long way. It goes a long way.
I believed it. So if I believed it, then
don't get me wrong. It's like I've been in some situations. Like I have never lost a street fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Touch fucking wood. And that doesn't make me cocky. That makes me train harder. Because statistically, the odds are not in my favor.
Well, in the back of my head, I'm always like, I did train ninja, so it's there. If the worst happens,
Do you have the smoke bombs? Like, gone.
I had the stars.
Mate, did you have throwing stars? That's so
Kind of
badass.
like a wooden katana blade.
Wooden blade.
We were taught to be silent assassins. Like I shouldn't bring it up here because we
Mate,
don't speak about
Sure.
it.
Everything goes
First
missing
rule of
after
Ninja Club
this.
is we don't speak about Ninja Club.
Exactly.
Oh, mate, I'm so going to have to come. Oh, dear me. That's hilarious.
Hey,
The Castlefield Hotel in Manchester. Who was that?
That we went.
Yeah.
It's not legit.
I suppose you could say that. Now you're not there anymore. It's like it's
He's going to go
not
missing
useful
tonight. They're gonna
intelligence,
come
is
get
it?
you,
He's
you know
probably
that.
gone back to Japan or wherever.
Probably, man. Probably. He could be here right now. We would never know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So one of the other things, like
Yeah.
coming away from all the fighting, we wanted to talk to you about. We had a woman called Molly Simpson on last week,
The Witchist.
the witch sister.
Yeah.
Sold his soul to a demon,
To
Okay.
Belphegor.
not Bellathorn.
No, Belphegor. Belphegor.
Oh, it has a name. Okay.
Yeah, and she divulged into all that sort of stuff, and obviously, what paranormal experiences have you had?
Actually, lots. And this is something I know, and you coming on this, we're gonna hit this subject eventually, right? So this is something I have honestly never ever talked publicly about, apart from with my closest friends, because
Exclusive.
people will look at me like I am batshit crazy. That said, if you talk to my closest friends or people that have been around me for a long time, you'll see stuff. So I have had. Look, before I go off down a rabbit hole, I will just say, I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
I
I'm
don't
very
fucking know.
skeptical. I don't believe in any of it.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. Come back to what we were saying before. I've had over 300 fights. I'm fairly sure that my frontal lobes look like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
I know that at times under high stress, I have experienced some absolutely terrifying things, mainly like loss of time and blackouts and things like that. Up till very recent, like a couple of weeks ago. It's something when I get stressed, it happens. I have been to the doctors. I haven't had a brain scan because I don't have £1,000 and I don't want my driver's license suspended for 2 years while they fucking check me out. And he looked at everything and said, I don't think it's anything to do with your brain. He said, I think it's insane stress. And I said, you know what, I'll take your best guess then, mate. And I'll go with that. Right? But I'm not taking out my personal, I'm not saying that my personal experience of things doesn't need to be put under the microscope and questioned, right? That said, I have had so many situations where things have happened with multiple witnesses, stone cold sober, and explain that, because we aren't all sharing the same hallucination. Predominantly poltergeist activity, right? So poltergeist activity, that's happened around me since like the age of 5.
That stuff moving about.
Stuff moving about without me, just like normal everyday objects doing shit that by the laws of physics as we understand them should not happen, right? I have also seen a ton of stuff. Now, when I am on my own, I cannot sort of count that stuff as a genuine experience. I do definitely suffer from horrific night terrors because I'm PTSD'd up to fuck. So night terrors, if you don't understand, it's like you're stuck between the hypnopompic and hypnagogic states of sleep, between wake and sleep. You know, first thing in the morning, last thing at night. And
Is that like sleep paralysis?
yes, I've had sleep paralysis as well. That's part of it, right? But what can happen to me is I can wake up and I'll be seeing stuff as real as you guys, right? But it isn't there. Well,
Is it?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
So what kind of stuff have you seen?
Oh, mate. So I used to see orbs all the time before I had a fucking clue that orbs were anything to do with alleged spirits.
Yeah.
I used to see them all the fucking time, but I didn't know what they were. They didn't scare me, didn't bother me. I just wake up and I used to see them solid as fuck, like 3D pool balls floating in the air, orange, black, you know, whatever.
Could you reach out and touch them, or
No, they were high up. I never got to touch them. I've seen some crazy shit though, dude, as well. I mean, a lot of my night terrors, sometimes it's like a mist, like a fog, but there's like this intense sense of panic. and I used to just run. The other thing I used to see from about the age of about 8 or 9 till the age of 21, when I caught the fucking thing, I'll tell you about that in a minute, was like a human shadow, but fucking huge. We're talking like 8, 9 foot tall. And one night I woke up and the thing was above me, and it sort of, it had what I thought was like a knife in its hand, came down. I grabbed the hand and I was like wrestling with the fucking thing, and I was exhausted, I was burnt out, and then I sort of woke up and I'm like,
Did you like physically touch it, or?
It felt like it.
Right, yeah.
It felt like it. But I mean, I'm stuck between the waking. So like, you know, like when you're running in a dream, you're not really running. This is what happens with night terrors. It's like, it doesn't, that part of the brain doesn't properly shut down. So I'm somewhere between waking and sleeping. Yeah. So I'm seeing stuff and I'm hallucinating like fuck. And it is as real and as solid as anything else in this world. Right. I've seen like, you know, people, this is where it starts to freak me the fuck out, when you start to get like common hallucinations the world round. So people talk about like the Hat Men or the Men in Black or shit like that. So one time with my eldest son's mum, we had a house in New Mills, and some weird shit used to happen in that house. The laundry, we had like a little plastic laundry basket, and it like the top used to just pop off that fucking thing religiously about 2, 3 in the morning every fucking night. Like once you could go, okay. It was like every other fucking night.
Yeah. And other people witnessed it. It wasn't just you.
Yeah. And then like one night I woke up and there was this guy in my room, and he looked like, do you remember the rapper Goldie back in the 90s? Yeah, you will. You're old.
Drum and bass.
Yeah.
21.
21.
End of
Bro, 21.
Thank you for coming.
It's with a ninja now, John. Fuck me.
Right. But like, he looked like that in a white fucking suit with a white wire brim hat on, and I'm talking.
Where was Goldie at this time?
I don't fucking know. In my fucking bedroom, but 9 foot tall, right? And like I woke up and I genuinely thought there was some fucking weird psychopathic 9 foot tall. It looked like some kind of voodoo thing, you know. Like, have you ever seen James Bond Live and Let Die? That was the first.
Before my time.
Go girl, yeah. Did you see it at the cinema when it come out? Anyway, I went for it, and then I sort of come to, and like fuck. The other thing that happened at the house, I used to see a shadow of a little boy, and it was running around at the top of the landing. I would sit on the stairs and run up the stairs. Every time I caught it out the corner of my eye, I turned around, and I thought I was losing the plot. And I spoke to my sensei. My sensei's ex-military. One of them. I have several, but Dave's ex-military, and he said, "It's stress, mate." He said, "You're wearing too many hats. You got high pressure. You're under too much stress." Story of my fucking life. And I was like, yeah, it's got to be that. But when I was leaving the house, my mate Dan, now Dan's known me since I was 5 years old, and Dan remembers being around me at 5 years old and shit flying around, right? And he said, "You've always known a bit of stuff." And I said, "Yeah, you know." And he had a little kid, and he was moving back in. I didn't want to say anything. And they said, "You ever seen anything?" And I'm like, no, I've not, mate." And he goes, "Why'd you ask?" And I said, "Because Hayley keeps thinking she sees a little boy on the stairs, like there," and points to the exact fucking spot. And I'm like, "Yeah, I've seen it. That's like one of the more mild ones. I mean,
just to touch on that, so I was saying to Molly the other week, my dad's got some sort of brain thingy, schizophrenia probably, and I was worried it had been passed down. I always see like a lot of shadowy figures around our house all the time, so I put it down to that, like, got schizophrenia. Molly was saying to us last week, it wasn't schizophrenia. We had a demon attached to the house, and she actually did something on you, didn't she? Cleanse on you.
And it was feeding off me.
And I really wish I'd recorded it, because we caught to go to the toilet or something, didn't we? And she went, "Right, I'm going to just close your aura," or you're probably better off telling it.
Cleanse. She said she was going to cleanse me. And then obviously went on to say that there was the thing in the house that had been feeding off me, that I had a hole in my aura. So I'd basically last year been really poorly, hadn't I? And ended up
all her internal. I think you probably knew about that, yeah.
Yeah, and I had nothing, like all my levels in my blood were basically not. They say like, this is really serious. Your levels shouldn't be this low, but they couldn't figure out why. And she said about this hole in my aura, and basically said that was why.
Get closer. Mike's not picking you up.
Oh, it's basically saying that was why I was so poorly, is because this thing was feeding off me for so long. It had basically created this hole in my aura that she's now closed up.
But like when she did something with her wrist, and like I was laughing about it, like me and Jaden, but when she didn't, she was like, right, I'm just closing your aura. Courtney was sort of sat there like, ooh, do you know what I mean? Like making
I could feel
noises I've never even made her make.
feel
do you know what
myself
I mean?
getting lighter is probably the only way to explain it. And I have felt a lot different.
Well, since then, yeah, you've been sleeping properly, haven't you? You've not been.
I feel
as
like my
ill.
normal self again. I've not been as poorly. Like, yeah, there's quite a lot.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, my view on this, I've seen so much shit. So like, I've got some really, really scary, terrifying ones. So I used to, my partner at the time, Michelle, we're still good friends to this day. But like, we used to go out like 20 years ago. We went out for like 8 years. We lived together, and we had a house that was part of an old foundry. And there was so much stuff going off in that house. I mean, crazy stuff like temperature drops and poltergeist activity. So like, one time I was sat in the kitchen and me and Michelle are chatting, and there used to be like the plastic box with all the important documents. It was like on a kitchen unit on the top of this unit, and we were just chatting, and this thing fucking flew across the room, like shot across the room, smashed into the wall by my head. It didn't fall off. It didn't bounce. It fucking flew across the room and smashed into the wall by my head. Right? And we were just like, the fuck? Now, there was loads of stuff in that house. I was having a bit of smoke one night, to be honest. I was in the living room by myself. I was having a bit of smoke. And I thought I saw two people run through the room and out through the wall on the right-hand side. At which point I said, fuck you, John, go to bed. Right? I was like, that's enough. Just go. And then I didn't think anything of it. I didn't tell anyone about it, whatever. Right? So then her elder two kids, my sort of elder two stepsons at the time, so Callum, who's like about 9 at the time, and he came over and he fell asleep on the sofa. Me and him were like up playing computer games or something. He fell asleep on the sofa, and rather than pick him up and take him upstairs, I covered him up with a cover, and I went upstairs, and he came flying up a couple of hours later to me and Michelle, and he was really terrified. I said, "What's wrong, mate?" And he goes, "I've just seen two people run through the room and out the wall." And I was like,
Yeah.
I literally never voiced that to anyone. Yeah. So me and Michelle were in the room one day getting ready to go out. The temperature dropped. I mean, fucking dropped to the point where you can see your breath.
Yeah.
Like, I've never known anything like that in my life. It's bizarre. And the main one, now, this is scary whichever way this goes. Either this was an actual human person, in which case it's no less scary to me, all right, or it was something else. But so we used to both work at this pub on the corner called The Peaks, right? I was on the door, she was on the bar. Lots of amusing stories there as well. But we went out one night, and we come back, and all the windows were open, all the lights were on, and the CD player's playing, and it's playing Pebbles on a Beach by Paul Weller.
What are CDs?
Sorry, CDs. They're like little
Like
hard.
youth.
They're like little hard copy bits of Spotify from the before times, bro. Yeah. Fuck you. Anyway, we were like, did we leave this like this? We'd had a drink. We'd been at the pub. We'd had a drink. We used to have a drink afterwards and things. You know, it was a good crack.
Yeah.
There was that love-hate side of it. There was that great side of that job and that environment as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Okay. We were like, okay. We went to bed. We went out the next day. We come back, same thing again. And we were like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
The next week, when we went out, we made a point of turning all the plugs off at the switch, all the lights off, shutting the fucking windows. We come back, and guess what? All the lights are on, all the fucking windows are open, and yeah, these are the two tunes it used to play. It was either Pebbles on a Beach by Paul Weller, or it was The Wild Hearts, Someone That Won't Let Me Go, which is one of my favourite songs, and it's just started to take on a bit of a sinister turn. We were just like, what the fuck? There was so much weird stuff, but her youngest, Reese, he's like 22, and he like towers over me. And he came to the nightclub I was working at for his 21st a few years back. I was like, fuck. But at the time, he was like 18 months old, and he used to talk to something. He called it Nandy, and he used to offer it his toys and stuff like that. And it was just a bit of a freaky fucking environment. And believe me, I can go on and on and on with these stories. But what I will just say is this. Do I 100% believe in ghosts, supernatural, this, that? Well, I don't believe in the supernatural. I believe that there is tons of shit that we just don't understand yet.
Yeah, everything that happens has to be natural.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
just because you haven't discovered it yet doesn't mean it's
So
not
once upon a
natural.
time, people used to shit themselves when there was a solar eclipse.
Yeah.
The gods are angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, now we know what it is.
Everything has to obey the rules that are here, the physical rules.
I will chuck some
You
layman's...
just don't know them.
Exactly. I will chuck some layman's theories out there. So when you talk about, like, you know, the Big Bang, the formation of space and time, that was a phenomenally violent event, and time and space is getting smashed around. So I don't know if you're familiar with the idea of like a wormhole in physics, where you take 2 points of time and space and you effectively fold those 2 points. So it makes it. So I'm wondering if during that time, maybe, just maybe, there was some naturally occurring wormholes created. And maybe you've got points of space and time which are a bit thinner, where these 2 points are a bit closer, where we see ghosts. Because I do think ghosts are a thing. I've seen stuff.
Well, how I've had it described before is everything's a frequency. So our reality is a certain frequency.
Yeah.
Whatever you might be seeing is a different frequency. And they can exist in the same time and space where our vessel isn't just tuned into there. So like if you've got the radio, there's radio waves of every different station here now.
Yeah. You got to tune into it.
Yeah, if you tune in the same spot, same time, same place, you turn that dial slightly different, you get a different channel. So where the frequencies are quite close, you might be tuning into a different frequency. The whole world that's happening without your knowledge or what we're living in.
All makes sense to me. All makes sense to me. So if you ask me if I'm like a hardcore believer and I'm going to like subscribe to it all, not really. But if you ask me if I don't believe, no, not really. Like, you're never going to...
Don't understand.
Look, I'm not being funny, mate. You're never going to catch me fucking around with a Ouija board or anything like that. No fucking...
Oh, we love Ouija boards.
We're going to do
Yeah.
one too, don't we?
Yeah, count me out on that, mate. I think I've got enough shit following me around already.
Would you never go and see like a spiritualist or a priest or...
Okay, I see
To
that.
help.
I'll tell you one story. I've seen a lot of them, and they're just fucking... They're shit. They're like...
Yeah.
They're bad cold readers, right? And it's like...
Well, I
you
think
know,
most psychics are cold readers.
most, but like...
Well,
some-
all,
some
but I'd like to
good.
get one on. So
Okay,
most.
what I will say, I saw this one lady. I doubt she's with us anymore because she was pretty old, and I saw her when I was 16, and she told me stuff that is still coming true in my life to this day. You know, like 30, 31 years later, and she told me with such unbelievable detail, and she said stuff to me at the time. I was like, "What are you? What?" It made no sense to me. And then 20 years later, I was like, boom, and I was like, oh my fucking God. Like,
Well, that could have
dates.
subconsciously pushed you into that direction.
Well, you're a big believer in like we're all
Maybe,
on a path, aren't you?
maybe. This is what I'm saying, maybe. But sometimes just the amount of detail, and it was stuff that wasn't actually, it's stuff, the things that came true, a lot of it was stuff that happened to me. And it was outside circumstances that I didn't really have a hand in at all.
I mean, we were trying to get a psychic on here to like talk because we're both skeptical, and we text him like, "Do you want to come on?" And he's like, "Yeah." Gave the date, and then he's like, "What time?" You're a psychic.
You should know.
I shouldn't be telling you. Like,
But like, okay, so look, I will say this though. So apart from like the insane like experiences with the paranormal, ghosts, or whatever they are,
yeah,
those experiences, I'm fairly sure that a lot of them are night terrors. But sometimes when people share the same hallucination, I then have to like, well, can we share the same hallucination? If we can, that just opens up a different bag of worms. You know what I mean? It's like a
but like
different kind of worms.
DMT and stuff, people share the experience of DMT.
Right.
So
I
it's
think there's something in it.
possible.
I think
Like,
there's something in it, mate.
and you're producing the DMT in your head anyway. Like,
Well, they did
so
an
the chemicals
experiment,
in
didn't they?
you.
So I've had out of body experiences.
A lot of Jack Daniels.
A lot of Jack Daniels, yeah. I've never had it off Jack Daniels. I had an out of body
We
experience.
have absinthe if you like.
No, mate. Bro.
Chili vodka.
That's the one. You never ever give me absinthe. I'm not even telling those stories because this is going on.
Let's go into the absinthe
Fuck
stories.
no. They are traumatizing, and I'm deeply embarrassed about those.
Wait, we have to do the
No.
absinthe stories now. Come on.
That's part two.
Do you want
Mate.
Like,
Yeah, fuck you. No. No. Just call a place. You give me absinthe. Just call the fucking.
I've only done absinthe once
Yeah.
because I used to drink a lot. Not at home, just going out. I was like the drinker. So we went to a bar, and he's like, "Oh, you think you can drink, don't you?" Of course. So like, do a shot of this, and he did the whole sugar on a spoon and like big fancy thing. Gave it to me, necked it. And like, I don't like shots anyway. Like, I can feel sambuca, I can feel tequila. Didn't feel the absinthe. So I'm like, what the hell was that? Give me another one. I remember picking the glass up. I don't remember it getting to my mouth, and I woke up the next day.
Mate,
Nothing.
I'll tell you one of the absinthe stories to an extent. I'm going to edit it a bit. But I was at Download one year with my mates, and we were hitting it hard. And I'd actually just had my first pro cage fight, so I was in shape. I've not been on it for a while. Excuse me. By like, 10:30 in the morning, we'd already smashed a bottle of Jack Daniels, a bottle of Goldschlager, and something else between us. And then the guy brought out the absinthe.
Goldschlager, you're showing your age.
Fuck you.
Did it do little slices in your throat so the vodka could get in?
You know that question you were asking before about like ninja and MMA and that? We're gonna find out.
The only one the spirits don't come for is the ninja. Just saying.
All right. So, anyway, then I hit the absinthe, right? And I loved 36 Crazy Fists, and they were on at Download. And I like got to the front of the stage, and I'm watching 36 Crazy Fists, and I started to trip balls.
Yeah.
And the sound was just going, whom, whom. And I'm like, oh, no, fuck this. And I crawled off, and I must have crashed out for hours. Fucking hours. But I got into some absolute fucking mischief in between. I remember drinking with some I don't know. I was drinking heavily with some transvestites at one point in time. There are pictures of me passed out in the VIP tent. I don't fucking know. I lost the fucking day. All I know is I woke up in time to see Biffy Clyro and the Offspring. I was happy, but it was a rum fucking day.
That's what scared me with the absinthe. It was, I couldn't remember anything.
Yeah, bro.
Like, usually you're drunk, you remember the bits of the night, like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? There's bits you can piece together your night. The absinthe, I was there,
Gone.
and then I was woke up.
Gone. Yeah.
And then people told you, and I couldn't even pick the recollection.
Believe me, I've heavily edited that story because there's some shit there's some cards I'm going to keep to my chest.
Involving the transvestites.
Not that I can remember.
Public knowledge.
Have you done absinthe?
Mate.
What are you going to say? Have I done transvestite?
Try anything once except incest or fuck. Right? That's my role.
No, yeah. The absinthe. When I drink, I drink. There's no in between. You know, you've seen me at the night out.
Yeah. Commit.
Yeah.
Samurai ethic.
This is it.
If you're going to do wrong, you're going to do it fucking right.
Yeah. Well, working the doors, you don't get many weekends.
No,
free,
I know.
so
you go a bit mental.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I know.
Get kicked out weddings and shit, don't we, Chef? But Corny's telling me I need to wrap up anyway. So,
okay.
You've got a comedy gig coming up soon.
I do. So this is the only thing I want to plug. I'm making my way back into sort of fitness and the stunt world and everything else like that, and I'm starting to push that again. But in the meantime, I have sort of taken a bit of a foray into stand-up comedy, and I've done it for charity. And I have a charity stand-up gig on the, let me get this right,
13th, innit? December.
14th of December. Sunday the 14th of December at Gorilla in Manchester. And it is to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, who grant amazing experiences to critically ill children. So it's something I actually feel extremely passionately about, having kids of my own, and I couldn't imagine. Thankfully mine are all healthy, but I've known friends who have lost kids and things, and it terrifies me. And I just think that is one of the most sort of noble causes and charities and things out there. So if, when we stick this out, we could stick a little link in the description,
at the bottom,
to the Just Giving page. And seriously, if anyone can chuck even a quid in, it would make a huge difference. And thank you in advance.
Have you done stand-up before, or will this be your first?
No. So look, I mean, obviously, I've been in Hollywood movies and things like that. I've been on TV. I've been on sort of factual programs, interviewed on documentaries, and I've been, I've acted and had a few lines and things. But that's TV. So live performance is a different gig. My first ever stunt gig was a live performance, and it went spectacularly tits up, which is hilarious. And
are you good with public speaking anyway?
Yeah. I mean, look, I teach all the time.
Yeah.
I teach seminars. I'm good with public speaking, but live performance is a different thing, because you're literally looking for a reaction. You're literally asking for approval in the moment. On TV, on screen, it's completely detached. I mean, it's seen by millions of people, but when you're filming it, if you fuck up, you've got another take, right?
Not always. Not my one.
Well, What I do, you get an
We'll also link that video.
No,
at the
we
bottom.
won't.
But no, live performance is pushing me a bit,
Yeah.
right?
Does it make you nervous, or do you not?
No, it does, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I need to push myself a bit. I've done it because without getting the violins out, I've had a pretty rough few months, bereavements and, relationships ending and all that kind of stuff, which is why I'm looking to get back in a ring or a cage or some hay bales as soon as possible, as soon as I can get my health sorted. But no, this opportunity came up. So a lot of the guys, I have to study acting for the stunts, right?
Yeah.
So I've done a fair bit, and I have had some spoken word parts. And touch wood, I've just the last saying I'm making my way back into the industry. I've just done my last a couple of auditions for the first time in 3 years, and I got callbacks on both. I didn't get the first one. I'm waiting to hear on the second one, which is a small part of a feature film. So fingers crossed. But a lot of the guys were doing comedy to sort of make them more well-rounded performers, and I love stand-up comedy, and I've always been interested in it, and I had the time, and then this opportunity came up to sort of go for charity, and I get all the training for free, and it's been spectacular so far, and some great people on the course, very funny people. So anyone that comes down is going to have a great time. They're going to enjoy themselves.
Coming down.
Yeah, coming down. Yeah, thank you so much already.
Yeah, no.
But really, whether you come down or not, I would love for people to just chuck a couple of quid in for and literally, a quid or anything is
Good cause, isn't it?
absolutely.
What's a quid?
I have to make a wish. So if you can stick the link to my
Yeah.
fundraiser in the description, that would be wildly appreciated. And I
Are you
will
gonna
just
do
say,
it off the cuff, or are you going to write?
no, I'm going to write. But I mean, I can go off the cuff, but I mean, I am going to write it.
5 minute set as well, isn't
It's
it?
only a 5-minute set, so it's short and punchy. I'm going to have to sort of, I mean, for my life, I mean, my theory is like tragedy plus time and distance equals the best comedy. And my life's it's like a 47-year-old, it's like a 47-year-long fucking rolling train wreck or car accident or some shit, And I've got plenty of material, believe me.
Is it something you'd like to do more?
I don't know. I'll tell you afterwards.
Yeah.
I'll tell you afterwards. But I'm excited to do it. I had to do it because I had to break the rut I was in. I just had to do something completely different, out of my comfort zone,
Push your boundaries.
push my boundaries, and put myself in a different place with different people. And it's been wonderful. I've met some amazing people already. There's some very funny people on that course. So if you do come along, the gig's going to be ace.
Yeah.
You're going to see like 30 sort of 5-6 minute sets, and it's going to be
A
great.
few fighters become comedians, and a few comedians train to be fighters now.
Well,
which you didn't used to get. Like,
my two ways of dealing with life: one, like meet violence with violence and be better, and two, just have like a dark, black, moonless night, pitch black fucking sense of humor. And we spend, what do we do on the doors, Brad? I mean, we spend hours just talking shit, don't we?
Oh yeah, it's the only part of the job, isn't it? Like
That is
that's
part of the job.
Yeah.
And also, to be fair, like putting people down and things in
the
tense
SIA,
situations
in the
around.
SIA manner that we get taught, risks,
open part.
please leave. If you're gonna stab me,
if you all studied ninja, you'd have
We
no
wouldn't have a problem, would we? Oh, dude, can you hook me up with some smoke bombs and some shotgun after this, please? I'm so down with that. But no, if you can, if in seriousness, if people can chuck me a small amount on the fundraiser, that would be excellent.
Come on, talent mastering. All he's been glazing you the whole show.
Make
throw some of this money.
Are you trying to set me up with Tom? I'm not glazing him. I was fair with Tom. I like Tom. I think he's a fucking incredible talent. I think he's the best.
I've had a
heavyweight in the
drink. I'll
world.
fight you,
yeah,
Tom.
Tom's gonna knock you out, mate.
He would try.
And that's enough for today's episode.
Sheridan's had enough to drink now. No, yeah, we'll link it to the bottom of the video anyway, and if everyone can share, get it out there.
Oh, look, it's been ace, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
brilliant.
I don't know
I
if
enjoyed
I
it.
get some of these jobs and I have anything interesting to talk about, I'll come and see you again.
Yeah, we're more than happy to.
Yeah,
talk about
definitely.
it.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, perfect.
Thanks, lad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mum.